That was Pretty in Pink by the Psychedelic Furs. You're listening to Russell Brand on Six Music. I'm here with Matt Morgan, who's driving the desk. Hello, Matthew.
Hello, Russell.
Hello, Trevor Locke. You're saying there you're in charge of competitions and phone calls.
Yeah, that's my job. That's what I'm in charge of.
You're in charge of those things. You're going to have less to do today, aren't you? Because this is a pre-recorded show. We're doing this.
What?
This isn't even happening
now. Are we
now.
not here now?
No. Like,
where are we?
This is the immediate past.
Oh, God.
Matthew and I will be in Germany interviewing... we're going to watch the Rolling Stones.
Why didn't I go with you?
Well, I was only allowed one person. I thought I might as well take someone I get on with. I love him. He knows I love him.
Why have you got your mic so low?
People think that you genuinely don't like me.
Why do they think that?
I get hate mail from Russell Brand fans.
Do you really?
Joining in, thinking that you genuinely don't like me.
I don't genuinely hate Trevor. Otherwise, I wouldn't do all these different jobs with him. What's the problem, Matthew?
What your hands down your pants.
We're under right. So this is a pre-recorded thing. Oh, look at. But let's try and make it both sound as current as we possibly can. Oh, look out the window at the weather. Isn't it weather?
Weather.
Oh, it's rainy or sunny, ain't it? Right, well, that's a sort of a combination of rainy and sunny. We've got loads of things to talk about. There's actually no point really in sending us any emails or texts.
That's not true.
We'll just throw them straight in the bin. It's pointless. Why? Go on. What is the point?
Well, we'll use them on next week's show.
All right. Okay. Well, sort of. What we're talking about this week is getting in trouble. You know, different times in your life where you've got yourself in trouble. There is no point in them texting us, Trevor, because what we're going to do, they can send us a text about, I got in trouble. We ain't going to read it out because we're not yesterday
here.
now.
I like to read them though. That's what I do. I go on the message board and I read them out.
From the message board then, Trevor.
Yeah.
When I was at primary school, aged about 6, I was with a boy under the outside stairwell. I proceeded to pull down my knickers and showed him my private parts on the understanding that he was going to pull down his trousers and pants to show me his dinkle. He never did, and then when he went and told the dinner lady, who threatened to tell my mum, I had to stand by the naughty wall for the rest of playtime. That's from Amy Lawrence.
She should have done. She deserved that.
She should have stood by the naughty wall.
Stupid for her thinking that there was a contract in existence. There wasn't.
Why are you siding with this lad?
But that happened to me, though.
He did well.
Looking at a 6-year-old's vagina, I think that there was a contractual breach there.
No, you didn't have to say that.
You shouldn't have said that.
Let's start again.
They're both 6-year-olds.
They're both 6-year-olds.
They're
We can't say that.
That's all right. It's 2 6-year-olds looking at each other's genitals is not problematic. Let's listen to the Libertines, the Delaney. Come on. Right, so there's no point texting us about that, but we're still going to do Trevor's Sonic Enigma. And what's the other thing we're going to do?
We're going to
Matt's Cultural Review. Oh, and we've all been somewhere special. We've been in the belly of a beast. We all went on a flotation tank. Okay, let's listen to the Libertines. Remember when Trevor last week wanted us to do that thing? Bam! All that sort of stuff. That there were the Libertines, the Delaney. Listen to Russell Brand on Six Music. I'm here with Cocky Trevor Lockie and Matt Morgan. We are speaking to you from the past. It's just sort of yesterday. That means we won't get any messages from Luke, trying to wind Trevor up. We won't hear from Pete, the bedroom man.
You know the worst thing?
What?
We're all starving.
Yeah.
We've got no one to go and get us food.
I'm starving.
Normally we could go, if you're around, go and get us some food, maybe. They'd bring it down.
People would.
We can't now. No one's listening.
If they're around, get us some food.
Trevor, you don't understand the notion of time and space. This is if people bring food, you're going to be... God knows what you'll be doing yesterday, tomorrow, now. I don't understand it either.
We got to go back.
Way back.
I've got Luke's telephone number.
Right, okay, have you?
Yeah.
Well, get him.
Maybe
Why have you got Luke's phone number?
Because I gave out my phone number, remember, by mistake in a couple of shows, and then he's been ringing me
And you gave out your address last week, didn't you? That washing machine scandal. Ridiculous way you carry on.
Fixed. And they've gone missing now.
I once went out of a guy, says a girl called I'm a Bit Spesh, who is a borderline ADHD, which was fun because we could just act up at random. Once we were harmlessly larking around together in London, we got to Euston, to the top of the escalators. He decided to roll a coin down the centre of the handrail strip. It didn't hit anyone, but weird, random blokes, a lot of random things happening here, came up to us and gave us a right good telling off. He threatened to call the police if he ever caught us doing it again, and we were like, yeah, whatever, as if our paths will ever cross again, you twerp, and ran off. Trouble. Brilliant, says this person. Attention deficit disorder.
What's the H stand for?
Attention deficit disorder.
Hyperactive disorder.
Attention, do you reckon?
No idea.
Well, yeah, we don't know.
I don't think she was paying attention properly and she put an H in.
Once Russell claimed to have it.
I was diagnosed as having that once and given Ritalin, bloody Ritalin, awful drug that was. It's meant to sort of slow you down and make you focus. What it does do is it stops you being able to achieve a necessary state of sexual arousal.
A necessary state?
I find it necessary. It's gives you something to do. Yeah, look, this phone call might be from Noel Gallagher. Let's have a listen. Hello?
Hello?
Is that Noel Gallagher?
Who's this?
I'm Russell. I'm Russell, your friend. Thank God you've called. We're doing a pre-record, Noel. Can you do a phone call a bit later because everything's pre-recorded, so it's a bit of a mad radio show.
Why are you pre-recording it?
Because I've got to go with Matt to Cologne to review the Rolling Stones and then interview Keith Richards. We're recording this bit now, so don't say anything mad. That's good, isn't it?
Well, I thought you could do the review quite well. Like I thought you'd do the review from London.
What do you mean? How? You've got to go and watch it?
Nah, I just got to sound great. Look.
Oh, it's already said a swear word. Listen, Noel, can I call you back in a minute and put you through the desk?
You'll have to take this number down, though.
It's all right. It's come up on the VD visual display unit of my phone, Noel. So now I have it.
That's my new home phone number anyway for future referendum.
Thanks. Nice to have that phone number for future referendum.
All right, man.
All right. Talk to you in a bit. Cheers, Noel. All right. Bye. That makes me feel more at ease. Like, you know, there's him to talk to. That's nice, isn't it?
Good old Noel. He always comes through for us.
He always comes through, that fella. He has been a bulwark for us.
Looks good, sounds bad.
What's that?
No, the other way around.
Other way around.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're talking about Noel there.
Yeah.
We shouldn't. I don't think we should attack any of this country's great rock icons. Let's listen to Turning 2, shall we? Let's do that, and then we'll sort of think about making everything sound much more alive and vibrant and competition. Yes. We got Matt's cultural review coming up. Let's do that a little bit earlier because you went tangoing, didn't you?
Yes, I went tango dancing.
And I want to know what happened. I'm really curious to know. But first of all, let's listen to Turning 2. Yeah. You listen to Russell Brand on 6 Music. I'm here with Matt Morgan and Trevor Locke. We're talking about getting into trouble, times in your life when you've got yourself into trouble. Trevor, why are you chuckling childishly once again?
Because of the body language that you use when you speak into a microphone.
What's the problem with the language of my body?
You put your hands, the places that your fingers go when words come out of your mouth.
Helps me relax. This is from Pink Power Ranger. Never been arrested, but once got told off by a dinner lady at school when I was about 6 or 7 for flicking elastic bands. We had elastic bands confiscated after this incident. A lot of people seem to be reverting to childhood trouble.
Yeah.
But getting in trouble as an adult, that's quite bad as well, isn't it? I suppose it's like, as an adult, you're not supposed to have people in a position of authority over you. So you're not
the police, unless you can get in trouble at work.
Yeah.
You get in trouble, like serious trouble with old Bill.
Yeah.
Or you can get in trouble with your girlfriend.
Trevor, you've been in trouble with the old Bill, haven't you, several times?
Yeah.
Have you?
Times. Yeah, only for,
Wasn't it driving backwards and stuff like that, wasn't it?
He thought I was driving backwards. It was an optical illusion.
What do you mean? How was it an optical
mobile phone?
illusion?
Coming around your house, you had to use the mobile phone because I got lost in Grays once.
What about, so you got in trouble with the police? Trevor came round, right? This is when I...
Is this when he knocked over an old man's wall?
He came round our street, just smashed into the man next door at one's wall, then just drove off. Right, we couldn't believe it.
Because I didn't realise I'd done it. No, I'd done it.
Let me just tell...
My exhaust pipe had scraped on the curb, which sometimes...
Right, well, let's just what actually... You thought your exhaust pipe scraped along the curb. What happened was, right, he'd gone, right, and then the man next door at one, who's only got one leg...
So this is your mum's house?
My mum's house in Grays and Essex. Yeah, but listen, Trevor, they come in... your behaviour to a man with 2 legs would be irritating. He came round, knocked on the door and goes, is one of your friends... is one of your friends knocked over my walls? Is one of your friends just left here? And I immediately realised he must be talking about that buffoon Trevor. And I goes, no one's just left here. And he goes, are you sure? Trying to protect him.
Oh, right.
He goes, because they've knocked my wall over. And I looked around, the whole wall just lying on the floor. How he could have thought it was like a scrape. And last time he didn't say, and this is how I know he's lying, right? Because last time he didn't go, I thought it was the exhaust scraping the curb. Last he goes, I thought I knocked over a bin. The first time he goes, I thought I knocked over a bin. Right, and I had to go round and go, I called up Trevor. I go, Trevor, did anything out? I thought I won't test it. I go, I'll test him. I go, Trevor, were there any events when you left? He goes, no, nothing to report.
Why would I knock over a wall next door to you and drive off?
Because you're a savage brute with no regard for civilisation's convention. That's it, exactly. Exactly.
I reckon you look behind you. Oh, that wall's falling down.
Bloody thing.
I was with Sam. That would never have happened. She wouldn't have allowed me to knock over a wall.
Trevor's wife. Trevor's got no moral code. But what it is he just tries. He thinks if he can get away with something, he'll do it. Trevor, he pretends to be all nice, all spiritual.
Rock and roll.
Well, it's not rock and roll. Smashing.
Hang on. Did you know you're not
go and ask Keith tomorrow. You have a chat with Keith about this.
Oh
tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. I'll tell you what. I'll tell Keith.
Yeah, man. What you should have done is go back to the.
Oh yeah, Keith. I'll go, Keith. I'll tell you this rock and roll thing Trevor Locke done. He smashed over a one-legged man's wall and then fled off in a quiet suburban street.
When I knocked over his wall, I thought he had 2 legs.
There's really. He thought, this will teach that 2-legged idiot.
Hang on.
big
so
disparity
proud of
here.
his wall.
Trevor,
It's just a wall.
did you know you knocked over a wall and then drove off?
No.
Honestly, be honest. No.
Did Trevor, for once in your lying,
His little
dirty
smirk,
life,
his little Jack
he's got
Russell's-
Jack Russell necktie on as usual.
Of
back
course
to his
I knew, and I
human
wanted
form.
to see what fuss it would do, and I wanted to know how he'd deal with it.
Oh yeah, that's a wonderful sociological experiment, Trev.
The fella done well. He
It was
lied.
like the
His first
Milgram
It
experiment.
was a test. His first instinct was to protect me, and I like that.
Yeah, protecting my dirty, destructive friend. Me and Matthew used to get, like, we've got in a lot of trouble in adulthood as well. Like, you know, I'd always in trouble as a child, but like...
No, you've got in a lot of trouble and I've been standing near you.
Right, okay, what about
Egging
that?
him on, going, do it.
No, just going, Russell, stop it.
What about when we had to make that programme? We had to make this programme for a now defunct
We didn't
channel
have
called
to make
UK
a
Play.
programme. Russell engineered a situation where he had his own show to make. Do you remember when we had to make that awful thing, the Russell Brand thing?
Yeah.
And then we got this.
We got
amazing-
£250,000 budget to make 10 shows, right? But we didn't really know what we were doing. And I was a drug
Russell's
addict.
friend was the producer who'd never produced anything in his life.
Martino, he's lovely, Martino.
Yeah, he's lovely, but he wasn't a TV producer.
No,
Who
no one
commissioned
could
this?
ever say that he
I
was.
realised that when he was crying in the middle of the incident we're about to talk about.
Yeah, we used to get into an awful lot of trouble. The whole programme was trouble, really.
The whole programme was ridiculous because we didn't know what the programme was.
Which, yeah, but what it ended up being was one where I had a bath with a tramp. Like we goes, right, what we'll do is we'll
That
get a
turned
homeless
out
man.
good.
That was a good episode.
Called Rebrand, but the thing before that was a sort of travel show where me, Russell, the director, and this guy who was meant to be sent along to look after us and make sure we weren't in trouble.
Right. Yeah,
we were
that
put
was
on a
really
van,
good.
like in a big, huge sort of what was
Winnebago.
Winnebago.
A Winnebago thing with a shower in it. I goes, come on, we'll just tour the country. We'll get in adventures. It'll be great. It'll be like Scooby Doo, man. It'll be wild. It'll be like the
he
acid
said
great
that,
wizard take.
then he went home, and then we had to go, right, okay, let's go and meet the Cornish separatists. They're quite interesting. Then we'll go up there and we planned all this route. We got to, I think, Notting Hill.
That's where we had to pick the car up from. We had to pick up the van.
Oh, yeah.
Right, but remember, this funny thing happened was they goes, Vera, the company that made it, goes, all right, we're going to send along this proper grown-up person, Duncan, from the company because we don't trust you to make it. And we were like, oh, all right, okay then. And I told Matt, goes, yeah, Duncan's going to be coming. Matt went, Duncan ain't coming, is he? Like we were 9-year-olds going camping. And he was just, oh, bloody hell, not Duncan. Yeah. And then we went to pick up the van in Notting Hill outside the director's house. I got there and I was like...
No, what happened was, I remember it, you barely do.
Yeah.
You were drunk.
It was quite early in the
about
morning.
9 o'clock in the morning, and we all got there, and I think there was a lot of pressure on Russell because it was like, we're going here, we're doing this, we're doing that, and he'd sort of been a bit sort of not around when we'd planned what the show was.
Yeah.
So we were all sitting there thinking, oh, a beer in a minute. We've given him the right address. This taxi careers around the corner. And he gets out, bottle of gin, was it? Or
Yeah,
vodka?
gin.
A huge bottle of gin. He looked like he'd been crying. He was all sweaty. He was like teetering down the road, bellowing stuff. I'm here! Television's begun! And all this stuff. And we were going, oh, okay. And it looked at the van, everything was good.
I like that van. I got really excited when I saw the
Amazing.
van. It was really good. It had a toilet in it and stuff like that. Oh, look, this thing's
So it was like,
fantastic.
we were a little family, everything was all right. And then he goes, oh, look, there's a ladder on the back. You can go on the roof. And we went, yeah, go on then. And we'd all, actually, I think we'd all had to go up on the roof. You go out there, stand on the roof, come back down. Russell went up on the roof and he goes, oh, right, turn the cameras on.
Film
turn the cameras
this.
on.
This
Drive
is
down
telly.
there and someone film me on the top. Go down there.
It'll be like
you
Teen
film
Wolf.
this. And you drive down there and I'll be on the roof doing this and I'll do a link. And we were going, Russell, we've got to go to Cornwall and interview the Cornish
I
separatists.
goes, listen, oh, for God's sake, just turn the cameras on, okay? This is a show. If you're not going to film this, we haven't got a show. Like it'll be
But it
like,
was like
it'll be
real-
like the film Teen Wolf, where Teen Wolf it surfs through the streets and stuff like that. And they go, no, Russell, just let's, don't, mate. We've got to just get the cameras and that. Let's just go, eh? Oh, no, I'm not getting down. And then that Duncan bloke who'd been sent to the mat was going, Russell, get
Well,
down,
the
mate. You're
director
being
was
mad.
the one driving. He was going, I'll get points on my licence. We'll get stopped. You can't drive along with a man on a roof. He was going, what will they do? How will they know that it's 9 o'clock in the morning? Yeah. That's why you're drinking gin. Drinking lots of gin, smoking
Yeah,
substances, only what,
Yeah. Not only, all drugs is
So
bad.
did you do it?
But it was completely
Yeah, I was
off
going, come on, drive the van, and then this bloke,
That
Duncan.
van went nowhere.
Duncan. Ever. Anyway, it's well funny.
It's full of food. It had 2 weeks' food. It had everything. It had little...
All pregnant
He
with a
refused
programme.
to get down off the roof.
Duncan came along, goes, Russell, look, Duncan, who they'd sent along to look after us, goes, look, Russell, you've really got to get down off this van. Look, if I get off the roof of this van, I'll be compromising everything I believe in. There will be no programme. If I get off the roof of this van. There is no programme. I'm not the person that deserves this programme. Right, and then started to put my fingers. I go, you make me sick, Duncan. You make me sick. And go like, start sticking
Duncan
my
was
fingers
standing
down my
beneath
throat.
him. Russell was leering off the top of the van with his bottle of gin, and Duncan was sort of like, Duncan was nearly crying. Like, a lot of people nearly cried. I laughed. I just thought this is so insane. I walked off up the road and I just looked back, and the silhouette against the sort of sun coming up. This ridiculous situation. And Russell leant over the edge and went, Duncan, right, as if like, I've got something for you. Put his fingers down his throat and tried to vomit on him. And Duncan was under there, but he was going, wait for it, it's coming. Here we go. Oh yeah. He hadn't eaten anything.
It's just gin. Just gin vapour.
Duncan was underneath him going, please don't be sick on me. Russell, if you're sick on me, then this is all off.
And then they called up, I remember they called up the executives at VIA and stuff like that.
Everyone knows, it was ridiculous. He was on top of the roof, all like sitting there, bleary-eyed, confused, and we all took it in turns to go up there and try and get him down. Martino went up there, he's a very gentle Italian man. He was like, Russell, please come down off the van. and he ended up crying.
Yeah, he
and
cried.
then I went up there, he's going, why are they doing this to me, Matt? Why? Come on. He was trying to hold on to me and keep me up the van. It was like strange ways.
It was. Come on, if we're all solid, we're all on top of the van. They can't get us.
Why are you up here? What does it matter? Get down. No, you don't understand. I've begun. The programme's begun. Turn the cameras on. Why won't they turn? And I said, Russell, we've got to get down. They're phoning Jeff, who's the boss, right?
Yeah, all
He was in
the
a
executive
meeting.
producers, our bosses, they called them up.
Rory Bremner's one of the bosses.
Yeah, Rory
He got
Bremner, it was
called.
his company. I remember that they called one of the executive producers, and they gave me the phone. I goes, yeah, Russell, we're on the phone to the exec, and will you talk to her? And they give me the phone, and I was going, yeah, look, there's no problem, Elaine. I just want to get on with the programme. I just want to film the programme, get on with it. And I was saying that, but I was on a van while I was saying these things. But, all I want to do is make good television. That's all I've ever wanted. Well, we're not making any television. You're all going to have to go home. We're cancelling the van. It's all
Yeah, so
madness.
it all got cancelled. We were told, everyone get back to London. Back to the office, central London. Will had to he had to drive the van back and put it in storage somewhere. And it was like waving goodbye to. And I was the only one who was stuck with him. It was me and him, like left in Notting Hill.
We were going to a pub.
And then he just went, oh God, what's happened? Like that. and then I said, oh, let's go to the pub. We went to the pub, which must have been 11 by then.
Yeah, it went on a long while, the van roof protest. It was like strange ways.
It was a long, long thing. And then we were in the pub, and then Russell turned around to me, and he was going, it's pretty bad, isn't it? It's pretty bad. Always using the royal we.
I don't know why we did this.
Why did we do this?
What were we thinking, Matt?
Why did we do it?
Getting on that roof was pretty childish when I look back at it.
Why did we drink all this gin? Let's go, Russell. And then he turned around, he's like holding on to me with his little claw hand in panic. And he went to me, it's going to be all right. Let's just not tell our mums. He actually said that.
That was my solution, was to not tell the mum.
Ridiculous. We better play a song.
No, we're going to have some news now. Okay, right, this time for some news, but for us, this is a future echo. This isn't news that we'll ever know of. Let's hear some news.
BBC Six Music.
Listen to Russell Brand on Six Music. I'm here with Matt and Trev. We're talking about getting ourselves into all sorts of trouble. What's this then? This girl calls Goth Shell. She goes, I used to be in the school choir at junior school. One day there was a concert at the Royal Northern College in Manchester. It was a big event, and our headmaster was attending. Halfway through the concert, two lads who were sat behind us started messing around, lying down on the floor, which we thought was hilarious. I suppose you do at that age. So we were giggling girlies for the rest of the concert. Anyway, the next day at school, me and my friend were called to the headmaster's office along with the two offending lads. We thought it was for a reward because we were all prefects and model pupils, but the headmaster wasn't happy at all and told us that he was watching us at the concert and our behaviour stood out a mile and that he was disappointed and we got a right telling off. We were mortified. That's not that bad, I think. People just laying down, and they were only giggling by association. But that's the kind of trouble I imagine that Trevor Lott got himself into. Trevor, have you got any events, any troublesome events from your childhood or life?
Always getting in trouble.
Well, as a child?
I was always threatened with expulsion and things like that.
Tell us a story.
Well, the worst one was actually at university.
Go on.
Yeah, and I come out of this quite well, actually.
Tell us then.
Well, because
you shouldn't be telling stories where you come out of it quite well.
Look,
let's hear you then. I can't imagine it's true.
We used to live in I for Evans Hall, a residence in
Why
Camden.
are you creaking around on your chair like that?
Sit still. What are you creaking around for, Trev?
It's the chair that's creaking.
It's like doing a show with that wooden woodpecker out of Bagpuss.
Yeah,
Just
Professor Yaffle. What are you creaking around for, Professor Yaffle?
I'm all tensed up, aren't I? I'm all pulsing.
We went and had a little experience together. It was a team building experience. We went on flotation tanks, right? And like it was quite nice. It was weird. It's like being in the belly of a whale a little bit, a sort of a cyber whale from
cyber whale.
a nice cyber whale, a gentle whale.
2 minutes.
Well, it was all right again. It was in a bit of a rush. To get to the flotation tanks. There was sort of a little bit of pressure. I had a barbecue this morning in my house. It rained throughout the barbecue, and we were just like we're English and just tried to just keep a stiff upper lip and just ignore the rain and the horror of this barbecue. We got to the flotation tanks a little bit late. They sort of talk you through it. Okay, you'll be in there. You have to select what kind of music. Trevor insisted on Bach. Did you get Bach, Trev?
No, I got some modern, frightening classical music that went all atonal and spooky.
Did it? It went atonal and
I
spooky.
got that rainforest.
I had a rainforest, quite nice.
But I had my head at the wrong end, so I didn't hear it.
So we all had to go in our separate little booths, and then it is nice. It is like a sort of a plastic whale, and you press a button, its head goes up, and it's got the different coloured lights. Mine had nice green light, and Trevor's had, I think, red light. What did you have? Blue light.
Red light was a bit weird. It
Yeah.
says escape pod on the thing.
Yeah, and you
That's
feel
it.
like that. You feel
Beautiful.
like that bit when C-3PO and R2-D2 escaping Star Wars. You won't know about that, Trev, because you've ignored mainstream culture all your life, and that's why you can't fit in with society nowadays.
I'll tell you who I felt like. I felt like Derek Smalls trapped in that thing on Spinal Tap when it won't open.
Yeah, it's a bit like that.
Yeah.
You felt all trapped, did you? in
That's
there?
what it was like at the end for me.
It was really lovely. Like, so I did have a bit of a panic in my one. There was a moment where my mouth felt all dry and I felt a little bit sort of scared, and there was no reference points because there's darkness. Although I'm quite tall, so I was banging against the edges of it. But I just woke up and thought, oh, I didn't like not having control over my neck, and I had to sort of get my head together and open the lid up a bit. Also, stuff went in my eyes, so I had to reach out and wipe my eyes on my underpants. That was a little bit humiliating.
Ridiculous, because he said if you get any salt water in your eyes, there's a water spray hanging on the side inside.
I saw that water spray. I wondered what that was for.
Well, you weren't going to use your
eyes,
pants.
I thought I was just using my pants.
There's a water spray there. I've got some salt water in my eyes. I think I'll use my pants.
I just thought that was the best way
Your
to get out of the
pants are
situation.
outside the whale. What? So you had to open the whale.
I had to open the whale's belly open and get my little panty poo pots, wipe my eyes out.
That's ridiculous.
There's all mascara and eyeliner all over my pants now.
What?
Well, not mascara, eyeliner. I've not got, just smudged mascara on my pants, that's all.
God, you need more than a flotation tank, mate. Scar and eyeliner on your pants, and it's your own.
Yeah, it makes a nice change. So, yeah, and then I came out and thought, Trevor, I wonder what sort of experience, because I felt a bit disorientated when I got out, because there was that little panicky moment, right? And I went to see Trevor, and Trevor was having a shower, like the victim of a sex crime, scrubbing himself, all terrified. You didn't like it in there, Trev, did you?
I loved it in there. It was absolutely tranquil. It was beautiful. It was wonderful until the last 2 minutes when suddenly this mechanical, noisy little spurt of horrid, nasty, bitter, salty water burst into my face.
Well, you're lucky you weren't in Matt's one, because there was a few little hot, salty spurts in there, as I understand. How did you entertain yourself during that time, Matthew, in your pod?
What you're talking
That was
about.
the wrong
Matthew-
use of that pod, Matthew Morgan.
Matthew goes to us, did you ever go at yourself while you were in there? I goes, no. He goes, Trevor, did you? No. And he went, neither did I. Hey, dirty little devil.
I got bored.
Lying in that pod, arguing with your own private parts, you saucy
It was
sausage.
mate. It was bliss. It was peaceful relaxation, serenity.
Dirty little devil. Go on in, Trev. So you got sprayed in the
I got sprayed
in
I
the
got this
face.
jet. It just went straight into my eyes. Salty
You weren't in the
water.
same pod, were
It
you?
stung. It was horrible. And then I banged my head on the thing trying
He's
to
got
get
a cut
up.
on his hand.
Cut his hand.
My hand was cut. I was scrabbling around. It was desperate trying
What
to
a
get that thing
pathetic
open.
man.
You
Don't
panicked
call
and
me a
tried to get
pathetic man.
out.
I was floating tranquil. It was a beautiful thing, and then suddenly, and that
You shouldn't do raspberries in there, Trev. Hold on to yourself. Wait till you
That
get
man,
outside.
He pressed the button by the.
No, what happens is, he said, you both didn't listen to the
I
introduction.
listened to that. At no
he said,
point did
at
he
the end,
mention
the
waste.
music will come back on, the light will come back on, that's time to get out, right?
He said
I
it-
laid in there for a bit too long, and there were the little squirts of salty
They
water at the
weren't little
side.
squirts.
Now, if you were stupid enough to be floated all the way over to one side, did it hit you in one eye from one side?
Yeah, it just went in there. It was horrible. It was.
Trevor, you're acting like you're Rodney King. So it's not abuse of authority and power. The man didn't do it for a laugh. You were meant to be out of there by then.
Time went all weird, and I just remember just staggering around that place. I took the earplugs out of my thing and I threw them across the room.
You threw him in the rage.
I was in,
All naked.
Yeah, I was pulsing with adrenaline. It was a horrible
Glad I wasn't
situation.
in that room.
No,
Wouldn't
impulse
witness him.
Look what I've
would have
done.
put you off your
That is
interfering with yourself, wouldn't
That's
it?
how
That's
desperate-
quite bad.
Yeah, it is bad that you've got that gash on your hand, you poor sausage.
It was a traumatic experience to go from that level of tranquility and relaxation to that sort of violent.
It is
Rude
so
awakening.
tranquil, though, isn't it? It's really nice.
Yeah.
It took me a while. I don't think I was at the wrong end at the first bit. So
Why did you do that?
because I don't
didn't.
know.
Why
it
did you
looks
leap into
natural
it
to-
first?
It looked natural to go head
Didn't-
first down the
didn't
other
look
end.
natural.
Funny
It was
boy.
shaped like
I
a
did
man.
lay down there thinking, why are the buttons by your feet? Why is that water spray by your feet? This has been bad.
Really
thought out.
impractical.
Why is this end thinner than that end down there?
Why are there footrests down this end? I can't operate these buttons with my 10 tiny toes. I tell you what, right, okay, let's listen to the Concretes, You Can't Hurry Love. Then what we'll do is we'll have a bit of a chat with Noel Gallagher. We've got Matt's Cultural Review coming up, Trevor's Sonic Enigma. We'll be talking about people getting into trouble, things that we've got on the message board. But for now, you simply can't hurry, love. It's just one of those things, it comes along at its own pace very much. Matt moved his headphones and his hair looks really, really stupid.
My hair looks really stupid because of that salt water stuff.
All our hair looks stupid, I imagine.
Yours looks
Yours
perfect,
always
like
has
it's a
done.
little plastic hat that
You
you have
like a
millions
Lego
of.
man's hair.
Yeah, that's what I've always wanted.
Stop going like that and saying rock and roll and yeah and
Why
stuff.
not?
Trevor, you've
Why not? It's
changed.
It's
radio.
just not you.
What about this thing? Did you hear that thing that one of our mutual friends, Tyler, said? Like Trevor phoned her and goes, "Yeah, come on,
I
let's
didn't
get
phone her.
rat-arsed."
No, I sent her a text message in response to a
Saying,
text
"Yeah,
message.
let's get rat-arsed."
Yeah.
Why are you sending women?
Ironic? Was it
Because-
ironic?
Well, I obviously don't drink, do I? So the
Yeah,
likelihood
let's
of
get
me getting
rat-arsed.
rat-arsed is,
Even if you
remote.
did drink,
And that's a
Trev.
funny phrase, isn't it?
Imagine if you did get rat-arsed, Trevor, it would mean that a rat's rear end would have been somehow, I don't know, sliced off with a razor blade and used as a thimble by you or something. Our competition winners have just strolled in here. Hello.
Hi, Russell.
Hello. I know your face from somewhere, do I? Do I? I'll tell you what.
Oh.
So,
Respond with language. Okay, right, so I'll tell you what we're going to do now. We're going to have a listen to... What are we going to listen to, Matt?
Well, it looks like there's a little bit of a trail.
Ooh, nice to listen to a trail. We're chatting to Noel Gallagher. Hey, what's your getting in trouble story, Trevor? Don't try and avoid it.
I'm not trying to avoid
What
it.
is it then?
Look, what we used to do, we used to climb up on the roof of our hall
Yes.
of residence when we were
Yes.
first year philosophy students,
Mm.
and we would smoke things on the roof.
Probably aspirin, going by your previous. Trevor likes to smoke pharmaceutical pills.
And what happened was my friend, who shall remain nameless, he stood on a skylight with a
Yeah.
big boot. He had a big, long boot that went up to his thigh.
Why do you have a big thigh-long
I
boot
don't know,
for?
I don't know. He fancied these boots, so he
Was
bought
it
me-
orthopaedic? Was there something
Just
up with
had
him?
one of them.
Probably most of Trev's
He had
friends are
two.
misfits.
He had two, but
Will you
he's
stop? He's gibbering about.
Why are
isn't
you
it?
so gibbery? Is it still because of that spurt you got when you were in that whale
Tell
belly?
you what, I want to smash something up. I'm not a violent man, as you know.
Let's give him something
Well,
to smash
we'll
up.
try and get your challenge to include some sort of smashing
ready
up.
to rip.
Perhaps you can
something,
punch one of the competition winners, Trev.
What a I wouldn't do that.
Trevor, you've done. Go on, get on with your story about getting in trouble.
Don't interrupt me.
Well, you're jigging about.
Stop jigging, Trev.
It's reading.
Tell
on
the
mic.
story and
Okay.
stop this jigging.
So what happened was his boot went through the skylight.
Yes.
There was a woman revising in the revising room, and all of a sudden it was like the Monty Python boot from the beginning of the Monty Python show. This boot came through the roof.
Did it hit her on
her.
the head?
Yeah, the whole skylight came down and landed on her, and it caused a massive commotion. We all ran, and there's this punk
Cowards.
rocker girl had her room, and her window overlooked the roof, and she saw me. She didn't see anyone else, but she saw me
Yeah.
up there. So she went to the professor that was the head of
It's
our
not very
halls of
punk.
Exactly. Not
No.
very punk, is it? Almost anti-punk. And she went there and said, "Oh yeah, Trevor Locke was up there." So I got hauled in front of him, and he said, "You were seen up there the night that the boot came through."
The night that boot came through.
What have you got to say about it? And I said,
It wasn't me. It was
Wasn't
what's
me.
his name? I
I
bet he
didn't.
grasped
You
him
ratted
straight
him
up.
out, didn't
I
you?
didn't. He went, "Oh, it was someone with really long boots. I don't know who that could be."
Now,
But
this is
just
the
have a
story.
look at
This
these
is the point of the
photographs of
story.
foot fetishists.
Listen, this is the point of the story. They guessed that it probably wasn't me because she said it wasn't him, but he was there, he knows.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know who was up there.
Yeah.
It was just me on my own.
Well, because you're so honourable.
Yeah, so I got the blame for it.
Yeah.
They sent me a bill for £800.
For a skylight, that's expensive.
It is, isn't it? And they said that you will not be allowed to continue your degree course until you've paid it. And I said, I'm not paying it because it wasn't my boot that went through.
Wasn't
and
my
they
boot.
said, whose boot was it then?
Whose
And I said,
boot?
I don't know. And then I said,
What happened,
Oh,
Trevor? What is
God.
this meandering, boring story about a boot.
It's
What happened?
What happened was I went down to the lady who's in charge of the whole university, and it was a really hot day. And on the way down, walking down Camden, I undid my shirt, so I was completely open.
Dirty. What horrible little yob. This has got nothing to do with the boot. You've got to come in at that point.
And I walked
All this stuff about a boot and a skylight. Trevor, we're pre-recording this show, and I'm very tempted. Matthew, are you tempted to just strike this rubbish from the
Just
record?
restart.
We could just
I mean,
restart
it's
the whole.
tainted the whole good beginning.
It has. I don't feel like being in radio anymore. Having this say, what happens then? Come on in. You unbuttoned your show to the waist.
I'm not going to tell you.
What'd you
that
do?
doesn't fit with the boot story.
It's nothing to do with the boot.
I've been summoned in to explain.
And you had a birthmark in the shape of that boot. And that boot sometimes comes into your bedroom at night and peers at you with its little booty eyes.
Was it that boot, Trevor, that interrupted you in your little pod? Was it that boot that sprayed warm jets on you? What is this phantom boot that haunts you everywhere you
You've
go?
got ADHD, you have.
I'm not, Trevor, not being able to attend to your tedious, long, meandering anecdotes
tedious.
is not a sign of a mind that wanders.
There's jeopardy. Will I get back on my philosophy
Oh,
course? or
what will happen to
Oh,
Trevor?
God.
Should we? I'll tell you what. Let's give the answer at the end of the show. Let's really string this. Right, this is a real cliffhanger. What happened to Trevor? Will the boot return? Perhaps a boot will come through the studio roof here at Six Music. Will the boot live again? Trevor, what happens? You're walking down with your shirt undone, like the Lothario I've always known you
It's a
to be.
tribunal in front of the peers, the people that run the
Trevor,
university.
you're wasting this on the radio because this could be a screenplay. Someone's
A tribunal, brilliant, isn't it?
What the tribunal scene, you know,
Oh, the tribunal scene. That's where it really kicked off.
crux.
That could be beautiful. Go on. What happens next? You're at the tribunal.
So I went in there and I forgot that I'd unbuttoned my shirt, and I went
Yes.
in there with my stomach and chest hanging out.
I've seen that. That's an
Hanging
ugly sight.
Well, you know, it was all out like that.
Hanging out.
And I-
Trevor's got sort of a lot of
Flags,
mole.
fleshy flags.
His great ridiculous udders, weeping and seeping.
Come on, you first-year philosophy student.
I'm not going to talk over you, am I? So I walk in, and then she says, "Please, can you do your shirt up?" And I thought it was just I had the top button undone, and I just went. I went like that. I went. I
Don't
did
try
it
to
up.
absorb what my snoring into your story. Yeah, I did
Hey,
do
he's
that.
got it.
Hey, he's good.
Hey,
okay.
hey, that's good. It's good you snored there, because I bloody well snored as well. I snored at the authorities. Take this snore right in the eye, Jack.
So what I did, I went. Thinking that it was just the
Yeah,
top one, and I
like
did
Matt had it. That's convenient.
Does the noises. 'Cause you don't need words then.
No.
you see.
and then I did that one.
Yeah.
And I did
Done
that
up
one.
all, yeah.
And I just had to do them all up, and I realised what I'd done.
Trevor, is this an anecdote?
And then a boot came through the ceiling, and it said the end on it.
It played panpipes, that boot, had a kazoo. Trevor, that was an anecdote about a man buttoning up a shirt after a skylight got damaged.
It was
That's
about
what
a
it was.
man
Absolute drivel.
who put his career, his degree on the line, and I never grassed him up. He never owned up.
He never
owned
owned
up. This man, he never owned up.
Brilliant, isn't it?
To this day,
Reminds me of
What?
Apocalypse Now. It's a really good. How many levels would you filter that story out, Matthew? Do you know what I mean? Like, if I was thinking, oh, which story shall I tell? Like that, I'd think, oh, it's boring because of the boot. It's boring because of the skylight. It's boring because of the punk rock girl. Just like there'd be no
Has
point.
no
I think
ending.
there's no ending.
And at
What's
the
the
end
highlight?
of the day,
Where
if
did
we're
it
all
leave
mature
you?
about it, you shouldn't have been up on that
You
roof.
shouldn't have been on the roof,
'Cause
Trevor.
it could have been your boot.
Could have been your boot. You could have been the girl underneath studying.
You probably were.
You probably were, wouldn't you? Let's have a look at what Trevor's wearing. It's a thigh-high boot, everybody! The
Oh,
mystery
there
is
has been some
solved.
meaning.
Thank heavens we've found meaning in life. Okay, let's have a listen to, I don't know, the Doors! Touch me, let's listen to the Doors. Those guys. Oh, Trevor, I don't think they'd have liked hanging around with you. I think Ray Manzarek would have took one look at you and go, blimey, look at that guy's boot. Head for the heels, Jim. Jim, put down your pipe and run. London Tonight. That was London Tonight by the Doors. Matt childishly goes, this is the same as London Tonight. London Tonight.
It is exactly the same. Those last three notes are
Come on, here's the weather. Alistair Stewart. Here's Andrew Sachs. He's Poirot's brother. Okay.
if you had,
I'm not going because I'm phone. I'm eating cherries like a yob. You alright, Noel?
Yeah, man.
Oh, I can't hear you properly. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, where are you? In the country?
Well, we'll loosely call it the country. We call it the glorified suburbs, I think.
Glorified suburbs. You happy there?
Yeah, as happy as one can be in this disgraceful weather we're having.
It's horrible, isn't it? I tried to have a barbecue earlier today. It was an absolute farce.
Yeah, no, there's no. I don't like it when it's too hot because I can't. I mean, it's all right for the likes of you because you can bust out the speedos and the flip flops and the vest.
I was wearing exactly that.
Because you come under the umbrella of quirky dresses, whereas I need respect from the terraces. You see.
Listen, there's no one who gets more respect from the terraces. When I'm at Upton Park, like, I'm something of a folk hero at the bowling ground, whereas you, well, you're a risible character to them poor fellas in sky blue.
I have to adhere to a strict fashion code of jeans, trainers, and, if at all possible, coat, and most times.
That must be restrictive.
It's not good for me.
Why do you have to do that? No.
That's true.
Because I'm quite insecure about my masculinity, I thought.
Really?
I just think you are, because you come across really, really dainty and feminine.
Is that right, Sarah?
Now, listen here. So, we want to talk about, we've been talking about getting in trouble and stuff like that. We've told a story.
You've come to the right person here, don't you?
Yeah, we thought so. We told a story about when me and Matt used to work on a television programme and me dry retching off a van roof and being all off my head drinking gin in the morning. It's quite a good story. Trevor told the longest, most boring story about a boot going through a skylight. It took about half hour. Absolute tedium. Have you got a story about getting in trouble, Noel?
Mine's usually to do with my mouth, though. I'm not really one for getting into physical trouble. Apart from football matches years ago when I was a young man.
Yeah.
My mouth generally gets me into trouble, usually about the old Persians.
Yeah, the Persian rugs, of course.
Yeah.
Kissing.
But what's my last gaff?
Your last gaff, or the last time you talked yourself into trouble?
The last time I talked to myself.
Yeah, and also, let's not forget that you are a convicted criminal. So, that's
let's not forget that. Let's not forget you're a raging pervert.
How dare you! I'm a young man with a healthy appetite for the ladies. There's nothing perverse, Noel, about what goes on in Brand Towers.
You're a convicted pervert.
I'm not even convicted.
I haven't caught him yet.
They'll never take me alive. I'll interfere with myself till I die, so as I shall. No, right? I've never actually been around. I'm not a sex criminal. Let's not start putting that sort of thing out into the world. No. Although I was done for that, like when I got arrested at the May Day riots, that was technically indecent exposure because I was naked again on top of a van. This time a police van.
What, proper naked?
Yeah, nude, and it was
sort of proper naked. I mean, you should have seen the size of the thing.
It was
pathetic.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
How long ago was this? Was that like about 6-7 years ago?
Yeah, 2001, I think that happened.
Was you in the mob that got hemmed in on Oxford Street?
Yes,
we were. Actually.
Yeah, we were. That was really boring.
Because I was out shopping that day, and let me tell you this: I'd have leathered everyone in that car, man. I ate May Day riots.
You ate May Day riots?
What's that? I was coming out of London on the train. There was this spotty herb, obviously coming from Oxfordshire.
Yeah.
Mate, and he had a badge on that said "Eat the Rich." So I rolled up my shirt sleeve and I went, "Go on then, Tristan, get a bite of that."
Lovely.
You're married now.
Who, me? I'm not married.
You and Tristan, Matt's implying that led to sort of a sexual relationship. And with your new confession about being insecure about your masculinity, Noel.
No, that was sarcastic, Russell, obviously.
I recognised sarcasm when I heard it. So, yeah, well, I wonder if there's any other anecdotes about you getting in trouble.
Well, no, let me see. I did rob the local corner shop once.
Did you?
Yeah, which, in my stupidity, I thought that the two old ladies that used to run it just went, "You're that geezer from number 14 down the road, what are you doing?"
Right, you robbed a corner shop where you regularly frequented, and it was run by old ladies.
It was run by two old ladies, not too dissimilar to you and David Williams, actually, now I come to think about it.
Oi, I'm Butch sort of a guy, me.
No, you're not. I've seen you when you don't dress like that dandy on the telly.
What do you mean? I've not got an old lady-style costume. I always look relatively dashing.
No, not yet, because your stylist hasn't pulled that one out of the bag yet, actually.
Oh, that's very cold, very cruel. You know perfectly well I've constructed this persona from all my personal experiences. You wandering around through life dressed in a cagoule, spitting. I think if you were given a lolly stick, that would be an improvement upon your style. Oh, Noel Gallagher is taking up a lolly stick. What a dandy, what a fop, what a gent.
So what exactly have you called for, Russell?
Well, just a bit of a chat, really. You know, I do miss you when I don't talk to you. And, like, we're pre-recording the show, so, like, you know, like, at the moment, no one's listening. Don't you? That's not an excuse for you to start effing and blinding. And...
I was gonna come in with a barrage of but...
Oh, for God's sake! Beep it, we can beep it. We can beep it, we can beep it.
I wonder what he said about
It'll be really very obvious what it was, Noel. So, okay, now have you got any charming anecdotes about you and your little brother, and you know, and your big brother, but probably people prefer the famous one, about you getting in trouble as children?
Well, no,
What are you doing? You sound like you're getting yourself into trouble now. You're interfering with yourself. I know you enjoy these phone calls, Noel, and I'm touched that you do.
No, you're always touching your what would you call it? Your
Dinkle.
Your dinkle while you're chatting away. I don't do that kind of thing. I have someone else to do that for me.
Lovely. Nice to be in a
I
relationship.
can't think off the top of my head. If you would have told me if I had any charming anecdotes, I could have maybe come up with some. But no, like I say, mine's all drug related and always gobbing off about. And well, there was a famous. I got in trouble once for saying something quite derogatory about that cat who sings for Blur, but we won't go into that.
Damon Albarn?
That's the fella.
But you didn't mean that when you said it, did you?
Did I? No, of course not.
No.
No, of course not. I just wish that he got a nasty paper cut.
It was PR, wasn't it?
Can I just say that Trevor's helping Russell out here because he's choking on a cherry pip. And I think Russell should have to continue this conversation.
I can talk and joke at the same time. I was listening to your anecdote, I was getting into it and that.
It's not really an anecdote, really, though, is it?
No, not really.
Not really.
Your gripe then.
Well,
What was he saying then, Russ?
yours are far more interesting than mine because you're kind of a bit more uninhibited than I am.
I suppose so, yeah. I mean, my feeling is, Noel, that you should just share these things, you know, and get them out there. So that there's
You obviously
nothing.
haven't had any callers in, have you?
Huh?
You've not had any people, any people from the general public calling in.
No, because it's a pre-recorded show.
Yes, I know that, but I thought with one of the technology, you might have some squares on your website. That
They're not squares. Our listeners are very cool, not like the yobbos that buy up that trash you've been churning out decade after decade.
I met two of your listeners, and they was squares.
But they were not squares. They was
They
squares.
was squares.
They ain't squares. They're properly cool. Yeah. Guess what? So we're off to meet Keith Richards. That'll be exciting, won't
Yeah.
it?
Well, I bet you can't blag him into doing this gig for the drug addicts, can you?
We'll try. Yeah, that's really kind of you to do that on the 2nd of November, Focus 12. Noel Gallagher and me, and some unconfirmed guests
It's very
raising
nice
money.
of you to tell me that it was sold out. I only found that out through a fourth party.
So yeah, sold out in 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's really good. There'll be some more tickets for competition winners and stuff like that, and we'll release a few.
Well, now it's sold out in 3 hours. You wait till you receive my extensive rhyme.
Oh, Christ. Oh, blimey. Oh, you're a difficult man.
Axl Rose will have nothing on me.
You're a cold-hearted and uncharitable man, no.
I am, but I could knock a few tunes out on the acoustic, can't I?
You certainly can. There's no one denying that. You've been wonderful. You've been a joy to this whole nation. We embrace you. You're an icon. You're an hero. That's why we tolerate the other side of your personality. You know, the boasting, the bragging.
Oh, no. But anyway, Keith Richards, tell him I said, look, because he thinks I don't like him. He thinks I'm all slagging him off, but I'm not. I think he's a geezer.
All right, that's good. I'll send your love. I'm glad to be a messenger between you and Keith Richards. I'll say, Keith Richards, Noel Gallagher sends his love to you. And to me, the way he was saying it, Keith, it sounded like a sort of gay love. It sounded like he wanted me to kiss you right on the neck and then I'll loom at the poor frail old sausage and bring about his early demise.
So where are you going then to? Where are you going to?
Cologne.
Oh, it's nice there.
Is it? I've never been.
No, it's
Oh, lovely, and there's our third beep. Hey, Noel, thank you very much. I'll give you a call later to organise seeing you and having a bit of a chat, you know, social-wise.
social-wise, yeah, man. You're out on tour, aren't you? Are you?
Yeah, no, not really. It's only at weekends and stuff. It's not that much pressure.
Oh, right. You're on the road at weekends.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
How very new age of you.
So, hey, it's the way I live my life. I'm crazy.
During the week and all.
What?
The rest of us, when we go on tour, we do weekdays as well.
Well, I don't know. You know, it's very charming what you did in the 90s, and we're all thrilled. But things have moved on now.
Unfortunately for me, they have.
Nonsense. We'll never forget you. Never, never. OK, we've got to go to some music now. What are we going to listen to?
Beck.
We're going to listen to Beck. Hey, Noel, thanks, mate. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man.
All right, ta-da, bye.
Bye, Noel.
See ya.
Bye, see ya.
Bye.
See ya.
Ep.16 Music.
Oh, we've got competition winners in the studio. Hello, come and share my microphone. What is your name? You're Zoe.
Yeah, I am.
And you're Miranda.
Yep.
And you got Trevor Sonic Enigma right last week.
Embarrassingly, yeah.
What was it?
Shiny, happy people.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
a particularly
Why is it
ridiculous
embarrassing
one.
to get that right?
Well, why is it
Miranda?
embarrassing?
I thought, you know, to be on Trevor's wavelength is
Yeah.
slightly
A lot of
It's not
people-
cool to be there, is it?
No.
You've heard the boot story.
We all heard the boot
Look,
story.
I am hypoglycemic.
Philosophical. That was.
Stop going on about hypoglycemia.
Look, I've had a traumatic
There's people who've
experience.
got
I've been-
that and they don't use it every day, like a disabled parking ticket.
Yeah, Trev, stop using this hypoglycemia that ain't even yours to try and get bonuses and benefits from life. Right, Trev, what would you like Miranda and Zoe to do? I know you often make requests of people that come into the studio, most of them mind-bendingly disgusting. What is it that you wanted to ask from Zoe and Miranda?
Well, not now, when the record's on.
He wants you to get him some food. And probably more
Yeah, some
besides.
food,
the way
please.
this is
Yeah,
like
we're
shopping.
starving.
We're really hungry. I got trapped in a pod earlier, and I've burnt my hand trying to get out. I'm traumatised.
It's meant to be a flotation tank. Trevor marched out of it like Joe Stalin, rampaging
I
around.
didn't march out of it. I clambered out of it, banging on it like a demented little bug.
It's a bit that bit like in The Matrix. You know when Keanu Reeves comes out of his pod in The Matrix? It was like that, watching Trevor all naked and slimy. My hand hurts, brandishing his bleeding hand. And then Matthew comes out all grunting and grinning, just having interfered with himself. Dirty devils. He did. The only person that had a relatively normal experience in that pod was me. It comes to something when I'm the barometer.
No, you had a
of
panic
normal.
attack.
I had a
just
little
laid
panic.
there, got a bit
did
bored.
I wiped my eyes on my pants when I was doing it. So none of us, we're not normal people. If you do recognise that, Matt Morgan.
I was laying there and I was thinking,
What, you think it's normal to lay in that relaxation pod, strumming away on yourself?
well, actually, the one thing that made me not want to do it was I thought, or not want to be in there, was I thought 50-50, people must masturbate in here.
You dirty
It's got to be 50-50.
little-
You're laying there for an hour, it's really
No.
nice and relaxing.
I think it's a relaxing thing. to do.
Miranda,
No.
Zoe, do you think if you were in isolation in that pod? I know it's difficult when you've got the spectre of Trevor Locke nearby to even think about sex, but do you think that you could be tempted?
You might drift off somewhere.
You might drift off somewhere, but I think most people wouldn't. I did.
I was really surprised that you didn't.
I know, well, I surprise myself sometimes. Now, listen, let's drift back into the topic of food. We are all a bit hungry. Would you go and get some food, please?
What would you like?
Can you go to eat on Great
Don't
Portland
advertise
Street?
shops. Other shops are available.
Yeah.
Do you think it's open?
No, it's
Right.
London. Everything's
As a-
shut.
Okay, it's all right.
Hang on,
we've
we
got
can
agreement
phone
in
food to
principle.
be delivered here.
Yeah. Okay, well, so that's fine. Let's go to what's our next track out? Oh, we're going to listen to Lily Allen.
Oh, God.
We are going to listen to Lily Allen.
It looks like it.
Don't you like her?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think
Trevor, you do like her, don't you?
Well, yeah.
no. Yeah. Same
I like this one. I like this one.
You're like a Rain Man character. Well,
LDN.
okay, let's
Thanks for the
let's-
cherries. Can I just say that? Thanks for the cherries.
Thanks
for the cherries. Very kind of
And
you to bring
also,
us those
thank
cherries.
you, Russell, for spitting those cherries at me throughout that
Just the stones,
interview.
Trev.
Just the stones,
stones.
Trev. I was aiming at the bin.
Yeah,
It's
and
just
you've
the
got
stones.
very
We
poor
don't know,
hand-eye
missed.
coordination. Even worse, mouth-eye bucket coordination.
Mouth eye bucket
God.
coordination. It's never come up in my life
It's quite
before.
good to win a competition on a radio show and get invited in and then asked to go to the
Treated like
shops.
skivvies. Right, well done, congratulations, you won the contest. Trevor wants a massage and Matt needs an ham sandwich. Now get out. Okay, let's listen to the.
If there's any change, you can get something for yourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, darling, get yourself so you might as well have pushed the wad of tenors down her bra, Trevor. You sexiest pig of a man. Let's listen to
So
Lily
this is
Allen.
Lily Allen.
Where are them?
No,
where are them Italian girls, Trev? What have you done with them?
They've gone missing, haven't they? They were going to come in.
What?
They were going to come in, weren't they? But they've got.
They've
I can't
actually
find
gone
them.
missing?
I
Why
can't
did you say
find them.
weren't they? Like we all know about it.
Well,
We
you-
didn't know
you
that they were
said-
gonna
you
come
said
in.
Bring them in.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, you.
I didn't say that.
He did.
Matt goes bring those Italian girls in, and now they've
That
gone
wasn't the only
missing.
thing he said, but yeah, he did say bring them in, and
I said,
I've
were they
lost
good
them.
looking? He said, I won't say what he said.
What did you say, Trevor?
I didn't. Look, I'm not.
He goes,
gonna-
they're very hard to separate. They come as a unit. They come as a two. It's going to take a tough guy to break them apart.
It's going to take a real professional, a real safe cracker.
I just don't have the time to do it.
I mean, if I could get them apart, if I could prise them apart, I could get into one of them, I'm sure.
I'm the kind of guy who can't even get out of a pod.
You know, if I'm in a pod and a jet goes off, that kind of makes me panic a wee bit. That makes me gash my hand real bad. I'm the kind of guy that if a boot goes through a skylight, I'm going to be talking about that for a couple of decades. That's the way I live my life, guys. Live with it, like it, love me or leave me. That's the way I am. So what challenges have we had for Trevor this week, Matt
We've
Morgan?
had ridiculous things.
What are they?
Well, along the full spectrum of immaturity.
Life isn't giving me challenges this week. I don't need any other challenges. I've
You
had-
do need some challenges, Trev.
Do you know what's happened to me this week?
What?
No, we don't care.
That's
My
true.
Central
What is it?
heating keeps going on.
Oh, hold on. No,
Hottest week
Matthew,
of the
he's
year.
got a story about his central heating. This is going to be gold.
Well, this is going to be very good.
Central heating, what happened?
And they found the blockage, and it was an old leather boot.
And I said, oh, you've given me a lot of trouble, but before you could say Jack Robinson, that boot had plunged through a skylight like its evil brother more than 3 decades before. There's nowt so queer as folk, or as I say, there's nowt so queer as boots. Joe, why are you staring listlessly, lost in that fashion?
It's a low blood sugar and then an adrenaline come down.
Those girls, competition winners, have gone to get us food now. They've won a competition. They've just been sent off to buy food for
good.
you.
Great, but it hasn't gone into my mouth yet. So
Well, hang on, we do need to give them a prize.
Look,
They
all
need to
right.
win something for this.
Do they?
Perhaps what the prize should be is when they come back, Trevor's little face is all covered with pegs, as suggested by someone there.
Someone said stick pegs all over Trev.
That's
Who?
Luke, isn't it?
Luke.
Yeah,
There's
well, we
also
don't
this
do
thing
Luke's
about eating up an
challenges.
entire...
We don't
like,
do Luke's challenges.
buy a cheap and nasty loaf of white sliced bread and get Trevor to eat the whole thing.
That'd be
What
nice.
kind of radio is this? We're 3 intelligent, mature, sophisticated people. Well, there's 2 of us, aren't
Pegs, 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 bread, 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 pegs, bread, pegs,
we?
bread.
This is nuts. I mean, this is really absolutely...
Trevor,
He
is
wants the pegs on his nuts.
peg nuts? Okay, peg nuts. If that's what you want, that's what'll happen, little peg nuts.
Okay,
Trevor.
let's start a more intelligent discussion.
Go on then,
Trev.
start
Go
something
on.
else.
Kick something off.
Well, I think it's interesting.
Oh, Rambo
Why
was a
do you think
white slave
the
trader.
flotation tank thing has taken off. What is it about that? Is it about going
The
back in the
womb.
womb?
People want to
Is it
escape.
Or is it, for me, I thought I was going to die. It felt to me like dying. I had 2 panics.
Yeah, it felt like dying.
Where I thought I was dying. I had
What do you
another-
mean? Because it was a sensory deprivation that you live
Sense-
entirely through your senses.
Yeah, and I felt like I was dissipating. I had this little reverie.
Did you feel like you were sinking at some points? Like
I
a...
felt like I had this fantasy that I was dissolving and you 2 were sucking me up with a straw. And I woke
Why
up from
would
that.
you think
Oh
that we
my
were
God.
sucking you up
It was
with a
daydream.
straw?
It was- but you know, you go off it, you fall asleep, don't you? And
Why
then-
would we want to drink you horrible little liquid
What
man?
kind of dirty human Horlicks would you be upon the palate?
But didn't you get that when you're in there? It's so calm and peaceful. It almost feels like you're a personality or a consciousness in water, like
Yeah,
your body
yeah,
is
yeah.
dissolved. And that's what I thought. Oh my God, I'm just a personality, a floaty consciousness thing in water. I have no flesh.
But my
And then
body
you-
was eating the
I
walls.
think
Out with
it's
a straw.
because your personality, if you were locked in a pod with it, which you were, must be bloody awful. That's why you've got a cut on your hand. Similarly for him, I lay there all proud.
Yeah,
You're
too
literally
proud. Stiff,
grief.
proud,
There we are.
ridiculous.
For a moment
Everyone
now,
does
I'd
that.
raised the tone there, and now it's gone
I
back
know,
down to
sorry,
the level
sorry.
of your
You hadn't raised the tone.
tiny-
Oh, I
just
felt
say-
like I was a fleshy milkshake and I thought you sucked me up with a straw. That's not intelligent, Trevor. That's daft.
That's-
Pegs, pegs, pegs,
Hang
pegs.
on, wait. I think it's
Let's stick
interesting
pegs
that
on him.
You've never actually, because no muscles are doing any support.
Yeah.
And for the first time since you're in the womb,
Little peggy
you're not
for the
actually supporting
nose.
yourself.
A little peggy for the cheek.
So
Right,
Russell has put a peg
So me
on
and
the end
Trevor
of my
tried to
nose.
pull this into it. Mind you, I'm enjoying this.
It's good, isn't it? He looks brilliant with these pegs on him.
Trevor
this
with
is
pegs
not
on
going to
it.
be healthy for
But this
my
isn't
skin
original. This
complexion.
is Guinness.
look
I saw this
nice.
on Record Breakers
Of
as a
course,
kid.
It's unoriginal. It's come from Luke. It's a derivative. This is painful.
You look nice with those
You're doing
pegs.
all right with it.
I'm going out. I've
Make
got
this
to meet
camera
a
work so
friend
we can
later.
take a picture
Don't
of
worry,
you,
it'll just
Peggy.
look like really bad acne.
Yeah, Peggy, stop complaining, you stupid pegster. Let's have a look at you. You're going to take it yourself. Peggy Sue. Pretty Peggy Sue. Take one of us together, Matt, me and Peggy Sue, Trev. So those girls are getting our sandwiches and that. And we're talking about the idea of consciousness floating and getting in trouble. There, it's a nice photo.
lovely photo.
Okay, let's have a little bit of news. After the news, we've got Matt's cultural review. We've got Trevor's Sonic Enigma. Trevor, leave those pegs.
Painful.
And of course they're painful. You look lovely now. You've got dimples. You look like a Hollywood matinee idol. Let's have some news. Then we've got lots of great stuff coming up. And here the news.
Do you think that what's putting you off being able to read like a 6-year-old child is putting a peg on your nipple?
Yeah,
Why
I
are
just
you
wanted to
doing
know
it?
what it was like to put pegs on your nipples.
You
all
know
right?
what it's like. I've seen you do it in a brothel.
Oh yeah.
Oh dear.
That was a terrible time, wasn't it? Do you remember that, Matthew?
Not a brothel because we were in a brothel because we were making a TV show.
Yeah, that's right. With a woman that did adult baby service. She was a very talented woman, actually. She looked a bit like someone from Sesame Street.
She looked like an aubergine.
She looked like an aubergine, or she looked like the housekeeper from Tom and Jerry. And like, remember, she was meant to be doing an adult baby service, and we went to all the trouble of getting that adult baby nappy for me.
From a joke shop.
From a
It's
joke
hardly-
shop.
we went through all the trouble of investigating the culture of adult babies.
Yeah, right. Let's get a nappy copy from the joke shop. We'll go and see this woman in Folkestone or wherever.
We
it
were
was.
making what were we making?
We're making something. We're trying to make.
We're making
it was chaos. It was
making a
chaos.
mistake.
We were making a terrible mistake. We went to her house, this woman, and like she was when we got there was she was with a transvestite bloke.
Who we both fancied because we didn't
Initially,
realise. And then
'cause she was sat
you know,
by
the
the
light
fireside,
changes,
you
you get
could see
used
her.
to the room, and then you suddenly think, oh
Yeah.
my God, and then it stood up.
It was a
It was-
fireman called Steve.
Used to be a fireman called Steve, and we said, hang on, you've given up being a fireman
To become a prostitute. So, like, when I was a man, I was a fireman, I contributed. Then I had a sex change to become a woman. Oh, what'd you do then? I'm a prostitute now.
Yeah.
Well, why did you do that?
terribly misogynistic view of women that
Yeah.
he shouldn't have been allowed to
Men
be
are
one.
firemen. What are women? Prostitutes. Brilliant. Well, the change is complete. Me and Matt both fancied him until we worked out what was going on. And that other woman, like,
Oh, but well.
she did, but she was like a dominatrix, wasn't she? She was like meant to be doing an adult baby service to us because we thought that'd be funny. So, but then what she actually did was
that?
beat us up. Well, you pretend to be a baby, get maybe get breastfed or something.
No, you get put
cry.
in a nappy, you get mothered. It's
Oh, they
not
go,
even,
"Good
often
boy,
it's not
good
even
boy."
sexual.
Why do it then? If it's not even sexual, just sit at home and watch the telly. What's going on, Trevor?
I'm playing with my pegs
He's
and
so
he's just slapped my
noisy.
wrist.
Don't play with your pegs, Peggy.
Don't throw them at me then.
Have some pegs, Peggy.
Oh, that went right on my forehead.
It's not been a good day for you, cocky lucky, has it?
It's not, and it's not going to get any easier.
Yeah, and then so
She was nuts, that woman.
Yeah, she was nuts.
actually nuts.
Actually
'Cause
nuts, and
We
she got
went
really
there and
drunk.
we said, oh, we're filming, we're from Channel 4, we said, but we
Yeah.
weren't. And then, I know, it's ridiculous. And then she said, oh, I want to go to the pub now.
took
We
us
had
off,
to-
got right drunk,
Yeah,
and then
she
took us
got
back
on our
home.
money. We went to the pub. She drank a load of booze. And then she goes, I'm not doing anything now. I'm not doing it. And we went, oh, go on. So we had a brilliant idea. We had a little conflab at one corner of her lounge. She was at the other end bellowing. And, just put the nappy on, and then she'll have to do it. So I just put a nappy on and just... Oh, it was fun.
Went up to her and she started, goes, come on in, give us this adult baby service. She goes, oh, this is what it is. And she started hitting me with a carpet beater and then with a shoe, like the leather sole of a shoe, hitting me with that. All the nappy was bursting and all the insides of the nappy was all coming out like feathers out of a duvet. Then she took us through to the bedroom, took all her clothes off and just smothered me like I ended up nude. And she got a Matt shaking his head, going, what?
I think he's saying don't continue the story.
I'm just
It's
going to
too
come
rude.
round to you and whisper something in your ear.
She's, what?
Trevor,
Is
will
that
you
what
tell
it
us another one of your boot tales?
is? Trevor, tell us something about a pair of shoes coming through a skylight.
Well, it's funny. I used to be given. What are they doing? Oh no, they've got a plan for me. Don't do that.
Oh, yeah, I won't say that. I wasn't going to say that, but you maniac. And Matt was going, oh, don't admit the ending of the story. We'll never admit what happened at the end of that story. She took us in the bedroom. I ended
It's
up
worse now. It's not as bad as that.
I ended up naked. She poured candle wax on me from a
Who
very...
would do that to a baby? Why is that an adult?
Why would you do that to a baby?
I was
She was
I-
just
it
doing
went
it
on
to
for
you, Russ. That's how you made
Yeah,
her
but I
feel.
was supposed to be a baby, Trev.
Yeah,
You know what I
but
mean? What
she
kind of
had to see through
babysitter?
He was in a nappy.
I was in a little nap. She goes, do you want to whittle yourself? I goes, all right, I'll give it a whirl. And then she covered me all in candle wax. She put pegs on my nipples, right?
That's why I've seen it.
Then she covered my unmentionables with pegs, smothered in pegs, right? Matt was filming, it was just me and Matt there, right? I was all smothered in pegs, getting covered in candle wax, agony and pain. I looked up at Matt, who's filming it for support, right? And
He's not, is he?
you can see, like, and I didn't notice this at the
making a
time.
TV show.
We were filming it, yeah, because it was for telly. It was for telly.
Oh,
We're
he's
not
filming,
perverts,
yeah.
right? And then stop playing with things, Trevor. And then so I'm all smothered in pegs, all smothered in candle wax. And when you look at the footage back, there's a shot, and you can see Matt in the mirror, right? You can see Matt filming it in the mirror, and Matt, I'm laying on the bed, covered in pegs, covered in candle wax, wailing in pain. Matt is texting someone on his phone. He ain't even looking at it. He's
Oh, that's
bored
really
with the
Boring.
debauchery.
I mean, how long can you watch something like that? Him squealing and she was drunk, beating him up in a nappers. It was so boring. And then at the end of it all, after we realised this is never going to go on telly, is it? Right, what's the next idea?
We ended up
realised
sleeping at her house.
we had nowhere to sleep. And she went, we said, can we sleep here? And she goes, yeah. And then we said,
She
well,
went
where
back
can
home
you
to
sleep?
her
And she
husband.
goes, well, I don't sleep here.
And this
she went home
dump,
to her
it
husband.
stinks of sex. She went home to her husband,
So
left me and Matt in his bed. Matt goes, I'm not sleeping in this bed. This is a prostitute's bed. I go, don't make such a scene. I had to lay out a towel for him. He had to lay on a towel and then I had to put another towel
I
on
made
top
a
of
little
him.
nest out of towels. I did go for all her drawers and have a look at her
We
stuff.
rifled for all her stuff and we nicked this drawer in, right? And then we ended up, then guess what we did the next day? We phoned her up and goes, hello.
To end the TV show that we'd made would never be viewed by anyone because it was drivel and
Good, actually. We should put that on the DVD of my live stand-up comedy thing coming out
have to be
soon.
heavily edited.
It would be as filth. Right, and then, but at the end of it, we phoned up the next day. We phoned up and goes, hello, this is the Kent Constabulary. 2 escaped lunatics have been on the loose. They've been turning up pretending to be a film crew. She goes, oh, God, I met them. They were around here. You go, well, what did they do? Oh, they were a bit
She
weird,
was really
yeah.
nice.
They wanted,
She stuck up
they
for
just
us.
wanted to... Actually, she did. It goes, what did they request? And it goes, oh, they wanted an adult baby service. Well, what were they like, these 2 young men? Oh, they were nice. They were charming young men. They were nice guys.
They had a camera, they had a headphone. Like that. And then he goes, it was a sketch. You were the detective who phoned up. And I filmed it. And we go, you've got to dress as a policeman to phone up. Do it for a prank call that the viewer knew you weren't a policeman. It was so stupid. So anyway, he's dressed as a policeman completely needlessly on the phone. Going, hello, well, one of the men has a badly bruised bottom. Do you know anything about that? How he might have got these bruises? No, he was all right when he's here. Was she Welsh or something?
She is now, mate. You've just Welshed her right up. Okay, what should we have a listen to now? Louis from Kingsbury. Oh, no, we've got to do the Sonic Enigmas, Trevor's. Sonic Enigma. Should we have a listen to Trevor's jingles? Let's see what wild and crazy junkies confected for us this week. Let's have. So, is this one of your jingles then, Trev?
It could be. I don't know what the finger's on.
Okay, well,
see what
Trevor,
the
that's
finger's
the
on.
excuse he's been using for his sex life for many years. I just don't know what the finger's on. Let's have a listen to this jingle of Trevor's.
Sonic Enigma, you play it on the radio. It was a brand show. Sonic Enigma, I wonder, can you guess what it is? It's a Sunday morning quiz. Ooh, but Russell and Matt, well, they don't care about that. Well, they don't love you, they talk above you, don't understand you, they don't deserve you. Sonic Enigma, why don't you give me
Why
a
do you
clue?
say Sonic?
Sometimes it's hard to love you. Sonic Enigma, I don't know what to do.
Trevor? It's ridiculous amount of mics up. Trevor, this is absolutely obscene. He's using it now as a forum to express himself.
Yeah.
They talk over you.
Oh, they want to drink me. They want to make a soup out of me and drink me.
They want to drink me when I'm in my pod. I'm
What on
scared.
earth has given you the idea that we are bullying you?
Trevor, where do you get this from? What's wrong with you?
Aren't you the real bully?
Because it's often the case that people who are bullied become bullies. But I think perhaps the reason we've been bullying you is because you bully us, bully boy.
Yeah.
Sat there in your neckerchief. Well, we made a little jingle as well, Trev, anticipating that you'd do some self-indulgent rubbish. We made this.
So, Locke, my wife, this is Bill Locke, your husband. Do you think it's too late for us to get Trevor adopted?
Yes, I don't think anyone would have him. He's, deformed and he's got the problems.
Those problems are grinding me down, Sue Locke. I suggest we remove our sandals and stomp all over his belly to see what it is that lives within him. Is it a fetus or has he got more enigmas in there?
I think he's got a lot of enigmas, but we can squash them out of him.
Squash out those cursed enigmas!
Wine from a grape.
That's the spirit.
There are, Trev. Nice, that
I'm
is.
glad you're happy with that. That's the sort of thing you want to say about me.
That's
Broadcast it. That's great.
That's what we feel about you. That's what we feel that you came from a world like that.
That's fine.
Bonkers.
That's
the
absolutely
competition
fine.
winners about our food. Quick, come in.
Get them in.
Come in.
With our food. Trevor's claiming to have all sorts of disease. Oh, lovely.
Wow.
Thank you for bringing us this.
There is an item there that I don't remember anyone
There
ordering.
is. This is very
But
peculiar.
they're allowed to get stuff for themselves.
If there was change left over.
Trevor, you mean, cruel, miserly man.
You're just in time for the Sonic Enigma,
Thank
which
you.
you won last week.
Yeah, yes, the Sonic Enigma. Let's have a listen to this.
Mind
Sonic
you,
Enigma.
there's not-
Sit down, girls. Put some headphones on.
Okay.
Not much reason to really try
Miranda,
to
sit
win
in
this
your chair.
competition. Seeing as you could just win, come in here and go shopping for us.
Next week you could be back again. Matt needs his car cleaned. Put down your headphones, Miranda, once. And you put on yours as well. Put on your headphones right now. Listen to this Sonic Enigma and try and see if you can guess what it is.
Oi, I'm over here. Listen, this is a mistake. Don't throw me a banana. I was lured here under false pretenses. They said I'd be advancing medical science. They said it would be like a hotel. It's not like a hotel. They said they'd give me a girlfriend. She's not my girlfriend. She's a common chimpanzee. I've been held against my will. How can you expect me to breathe in captivity? I can't even manage it in the wild. What chance have I got in here with you lot gawping at me? So what if I die out? Who's going to miss me? No one. At least give me the dignity of a lonely death in my natural habitat.
God, God, he's a bitter man.
You are so bitter, Trev. These Sonic Enigmas, we increasingly see what an unwell human being you are.
I'm in character there.
Do you
see.
need
I'm
a cuddle?
I'm acting.
Is it a cuddle, Trev? Is it a cuddle that you're after?
Miranda, go and give him a cuddle.
Miranda, don't you start sending people around the street. Miranda,
No,
he went. The last thing that man needs is contact from an attractive female. That's what's got him into this mess. Look at him.
I think he needs another little Peggy wig on his nose.
Do you need a Peggy wig, Trev?
No.
Give him a Peggy. There, a little Peggy on his nose. They're not fur if you put them on your nipples. We've been putting them on our nipples, we have.
You've been fiddling with your nipples a lot.
Well, I have actually. I'm quite an erotic man. Here, I have a peg yourself.
Get on mic, you loony.
Oh, look, let's just have a little peg. I'll put one on my nipple.
Oh, dear.
Oh, it really does hurt quite a lot. Okay, so, right, so that's that. If you think you know the answer, you can still do this, because if you send this in, even though this isn't live, send in your answers to that on 64046. If you get the right one, we will select one of you to come in and be our skivvies next week to buy us sandwiches and listen to Trevor's filthy, eroticised yelps.
BBC 6 Music.
Trevor, all this Sonic Enigma is this week was you in the jingle trying to express how bullied you feel. Then
Not at all.
in the
You
other
didn't
one,
listen to the
I'm a
words
monkey
properly.
man, I'm a monkey man. So
No, I was singing.
Did you?
No.
What were you
You're going
saying?
to bring out a
No,
CD
no,
for
no.
Christmas with all this rubbish on.
If people want me to,
No,
I'll
they
just
don't.
leave that.
There's
to
no
public.
demand, Trevor. There's no demand. Zoe and Miranda, our competition winners, you won last week. You've heard the Enigma. Do you understand it?
No.
Why?
It's obscure.
Didn't hold your attention. Get into the
It's
microphone.
very
We've
oblique.
told you that.
It's very oblique.
Very
It is oblique. What a way to
Maybe
make-
just subtle.
I mean, they're meant to be enigmatic, Trev, but they're
They
not meant
are
to be
enigmatic,
indecipherable. Sorry for eating on mic, but we were very, very hungry girls today.
Last week's people said it was too easy. The week before that said it was too straightforward. This week I've changed
Do you
it.
think you found the balance? Okay, let's listen to it once more, shall we, Matthew?
Okay.
Oi, I'm over here. Listen, this is a mistake. Don't throw me a banana. I was lured here under false pretenses. They said I'd be advancing medical science. They said it would be like a hotel. It's not like a hotel. They said they'd give me a girlfriend. She's not my girlfriend. She's a common chimpanzee. I've been held against my will. How can you expect me to breathe in captivity? I can't even manage it in the wild. What chance have I got in here with you lot gawping at me? So what if I die out? Who's going to miss me? No one. At least give me the dignity of a lonely death in my natural habitat.
So if you think you know the answer to that, text us on 64046. I cannot for the life of me work that out. Matt, what do you think
you
it
never
is?
can. So why do you even say it?
Hey, hey with the monkeys.
What do you think it is, Zoe, Miranda?
Again,
Any idea?
about guinea pigs.
Well, it's to do with... He keeps saying he's a monkey, doesn't he? He keeps saying, throw me a banana,
About
a
guinea
chimpanzee.
pigs.
As in, like, testing, medical testing on you.
Yeah, but what song is that, though?
Oh yeah.
Crash test dummies.
Crash Test Dummies. Is it Crash Test Dummies?
You're thinking along the right lines, believe it or not. But that doesn't
Yeah.
surprise me because you've got previous, haven't you? You've got a good track record. So yeah, if you
I think it's closer to previous people that are in line with your thinking, Trevor. It's more like a form sheet. It is more like a list of crimes as long as you're armed, diverse and disgusting.
hey, what if they were to win twice in a row? Wouldn't that be a turn up?
Well,
What are you going to have them do next week? Shave your undercarriage? The way you've treated these girls is just shocking and disgusting.
All the stuff Trevor's got all lined up.
Trevor, what
in
have
the
all your
shop.
stuff lined up for? He's made the competition winners go out and buy him grub. Now he's got it all lined up like a
What do
Roman
you do?
emperor.
If I don't line it up, what do I do? Do I stack it up? Do I keep it in a bag? I line
You
it up.
don't
You
deserve
eat it.
food.
You eat it. You've asked for it and you don't want it. You just want the power.
Matthew, give him a peg! Peg him up! He's not been pegged
Where's
for
this
too
peg
long.
going? Where is this peg going?
tongue.
Peg it on the inside of his cheek.
Oh, don't put it there. Ooh.
Your dirty scruff of your neck.
On that tide-marked little roll of fat on your neck.
This can't be good.
How about we listen to the Kings of Convenience? I'd rather dance with you. How about it? Why don't we?
My cultural review's coming up.
Oh!
It's always a treat, isn't it?
Always true. If you think you know the answer to Trevor Sonic review at 64046, let's listen to I'd rather dance with you.
Sonic
Kings.
review.
He's confused.
Don't
Matt.
expand because he'll put that in the show next week.
What-
This is Trevor's Sonic review.
Right, this is where I review the idea of sound. Now, there have been noises since the dawn of time. In fact, the Big Bang was the very beginning of all existence, and I think it went something like this.
The thing about the Big Bang is, was it a Big Bang if there was no one there to listen to it?
How would
I
we
don't
know?
think it was a Big Bang. It's a misnomer. It's a myth. Stephen Hawking made it up because he couldn't think of anything better.
He didn't make up Big Bang Theory.
Well, he believes in it lazily.
Don't accuse me of
Don't accuse
lazy.
him
He's in
of
a
lazy.
wheelchair, Trevor, just because he ain't run the marathon. What do you want from Stephen Hawking? Hey, let's listen to the Kings of Convenience. Come on. Matthew, do you have any idea what that Sonic Enigma was?
No. I said hey hey the monkeys and it fell on deaf ears.
Yeah.
Well, I've said it didn't fall on deaf ears, mate. It fell on my ears, and I rejected it immediately.
Oh. He's getting Larry, isn't
Trevor,
he?
why are you like this today?
Because I've got a peg stuck on my neck.
Is that
That's
still
mine.
there? Well, let me balance it out for you. How far I'm now? Adam's apple.
There, have a peg on your throat, Trevor.
Why are you wearing that little neckerchief? Is it because you're starting to live as a woman and Adam's apple's the giveaway? Is it though?
No transformation.
No, it's not. I like it because I felt a little bit throaty this morning, so...
Oh, what a lie! Oh yeah, in this cold, blasting Siberian
I like
weather.
it. It goes
very
the
dashing.
blue. Exactly.
You think he's dashing? Do you
Yeah.
think? Can I ask something, Miranda? Did you find Trevor attractive?
He's quite cute.
Cute.
Really? Do you think he's cute?
Well, the way you might find a little monkey cute, a dirty little monkey squatting above a mirror, pupping. You might find that
If
cute.
you saw him bumbling around a campus.
I tell you what you two are like. You're like the ugly sisters.
How?
Who, them two? That...
They're really attractive, Trevor. You shouldn't abuse our listeners.
Why did you say
Now
that?
he's spitting sandwich.
Why did you say that?
So
I'm
that's
saying
really
you
rude.
You bully me.
Oh,
I'm
us
like
two.
Cinderella,
Why
aren't
would
I?
you
Really
say that to these
offensive
ladies?
to
It's
the
really horrible.
Competition.
No, they're like Prince Charming. That's what you've got a double-headed Prince Charming over there.
What is
Prince
this
Charming?
Cinderella thing?
Because you're bullying
You think
me.
you're like Cinderella?
Yeah.
She was at least useful around the house, Trevor. You were an
Do you
absolute
see yourself as a
catastrophe.
heroine?
As a heroine?
Yeah.
In a way, I do, yeah. I've got to
How?
bring a female energy to this. I have to balance out the lariness, the rudeness, the
masculinity.
genitalia.
You wait till you hear my cultural review.
Masculinity. If you
Okay,
think
we
that-
will be listening to Matt's cultural review in a matter of moments, but before that, let's listen to Depeche Mode, Never Let Me Down Again. Something I have to say to Trevor about 9 times an hour, and he still lets himself live on air. You listen to Russell Brand on Six Music. I'm here with Cocky Trevor Lockie and Matt Morgan, and our competition winner, Zoe Miranda. How are you enjoying your experience so far?
Good. Yep.
Well, what are you enjoying most about it? Being sent off to buy
Being
food?
treated
Good,
like
yeah.
scum.
That means
Yeah, it's
no
good.
in
Yeah, it's
anyone's
fine.
language.
It's good. No problem.
Called ugly sisters.
Being called ugly sisters by the abusive,
You know I wasn't.
hostile
You are
Trevor Locke.
sisters, aren't you?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
calling
No,
you Prince Charming,
But they're actually very attractive sisters.
which is not much better than
Not
calling
really.
you
Why don't
ugly
you call them
sisters 'cause you're-
Cinderella? You're Prince Charming, and we're the ugly sisters.
Okay, we'll do that
I
then.
don't know where Trevor would be in that anecdote. I don't remember the myth of Cinderella having a
Buttons.
raging pervert. Buttons. He could be Buttons. Yeah, you could probably play Buttons, Trevor.
Yeah, I did actually. In the yeah.
Oh, I thought he would. The old Vic.
Oh, it was one of the memorable Buttons. It was one of the most memorable. If it's everything's all memorable, how about the old Vic playing Buttons? Arrested in the stools. Trevor.
Well, a stool was involved.
Oh, Trevor. Trevor always
A milkmaid stool. 3 legs. That's why I didn't wobble.
Trevor, you can complain about the tone of this show and that I don't pod about Solzhenitsyn and Kandinsky and
I
whatnot.
don't want you to
About
harp on
who?
about him. I think he's overrated.
Right.
Okay, so listen, if you like Trevor Sonic review,
It's not called that. Russ.
Trevor Sonic
Don't ever
Enigma.
call it
Right,
that.
God.
I'll tell you what, it's not coming. I think we should axe Trevor Sonic Enigma
Yeah,
because
let's put
I
it in a
don't
proper
understand
competition.
it. I've never understood it. No one's ever like Miranda and Zoe looked at us all forlorn. Then, do you like the competition?
Because we won.
Yeah, but look at your prize to be treated like idiots. Trevor, stop munching sweets down the microphone. For God's sake, you need another peg. You really do. Someone should give you a blooming peg. Okay, so no, we'll persist with this Sonic Enigma. If you think you know the answer, Trevor, perhaps you just tell us the answer by now, and let's assume that by this stage that a listener will have got it. So you know, if
Maybe
you
he could give us another clue.
give us a clue, Trevor. What is all that talking about
Well,
monkeys?
Okay, so it's set in a zoo, and you try to put yourself in the mind.
Wish
of
someone would
something
put
that
you
is
in a zoo.
Don't patronise us, just explain it.
Yeah, try and put yourself in the mind of a genius
might
who
somebody-
does his own Sonic Enigmas week in, week out.
We're all going to the zoo tomorrow.
What might something that's in a
Good
zoo
guess.
be thinking?
Get me out of here. I've got to get out
There
of
must
this
be
place.
some kind of way out of here.
Something like that, mightn't he be thinking?
Yeah, we've got to get out of this place by the animals.
It might be that.
Yes.
It might be that.
Is it that?
Yeah, it's
Have
that.
I just blown it?
No, that's all right. We've got to say that was the answer to the
It's
Sonic
not- it's
Review.
not that. It should have been that.
That's
It's not
brilliant. I'm brilliant.
I said it before you.
Sonic Enigmas.
that. It should have been that. But it's
Okay,
not
let's
that.
do right. Okay, so we'll get after the next track. You'll tell us the answer.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so Matt, cultural review you done, did ya?
Ah.
What was this cultural review? Oh, you've made a jingle, have you?
Well,
Matt's made a jingle for his cultural review. Let's have a listen to that.
Hello, this is the BBC, and this is Matthew Morgan's Cultural Review,
Perhaps I might get laid out of it.
where he tries to get laid, apparently, from situations he wouldn't otherwise be in.
Oh, I don't like it at opera. They've got chairs. No one farts in the palm of their hand and sniffs it. They're snobs.
Russell Brand there, pretending he is a bastion of culture, but actually he's merely a sex maniac.
Nice. Be a sex maniac, if anything.
You're an idiot.
Why? Why am I an
You
idiot?
just said, "Is this soya? Is this soya milk? Is my coffee soya milk?" All over
I was
my
too afraid to
brilliant
say no.
trail.
It was a ridiculous trail, and I'm.
You're in it.
Glimpse of real Russell
Makes sense.
Brand there.
What?
That's nice to want soya milk.
Yeah, we just saw behind the curtain there.
Good not to torture animals. Good not to like having dairy cows' milk. 'Cause it's cruel to
Is
have
that why
dairy
you have
cows.
soya milk?
Yep, that's right. Because I'm such a nice guy. That's why I insisted on it being soya. Because
You've all got soya.
lovely. Because then no cows are being harmed.
bad. We
That's
all
why I'm a
like cows. I don't care about animals, I
vegetarian.
just
I'm a
care about me.
vegetarian man. That's becoming increasingly clear over the week. So,
Right.
what was your cultural review this week, Matthew?
Well, my original idea for cultural review was to go floating, but that got absorbed into all of us going, which I think was a good idea.
it was good because then
And-
Trevor had that terrible panic attack, which we all enjoyed enormously.
So I went to tango lessons,
What was that
tango
like then?
dancing at a Spanish bar near
Where?
here, central
In
London.
central
can't
London?
remember. You go down the stairs, wooden floor. It's nice actually. It was a hot day. It was sort of evening. It's low light down there. It's like a bar, wooden floor. People sort of slowly turning up. The man who ran it was called
Slowly.
Octavia. They
Octavia.
came very slowly, sort of drifting about, and it's weird because I haven't been out of my comfort zone like that socially.
Why was it out of your comfort zone? Did you feel awkward?
Because I had to go there on my own, which really, when you think about it, you
Who
don't.
was the first person you spoke to? Octavio.
No, this lady called Hannah, who was really nice, and I said, "Oh no, the first one was the barman. I've got a
Oh,
beer."
you have to list everyone like an
He
autistic
does.
lunatic. Just tell us what happened in this cultural review.
Don't waft your hand at me like Michael Winner.
Well, just get on the story, okay? I'm Michael
Setting
Winner.
the scene.
Yeah, all right.
Okay,
You're in a
so
place
anyway,
you've got
I met
nice
Octavia.
floors.
It was this sort of it's all South American, isn't it? Tango. I learned about this. It was
Argentinian.
developed in Argentinian. It's developed in brothels. It's really good, right?
Yeah.
So I met this woman called Hannah, and she said, "Oh no, don't worry, it's all right. We never get enough men, right?" So, men of London and probably anywhere there's tango lessons, there's all these women who turn up. Some of them don't get a dance, so they don't pay, I don't think, but they sit around the edges, all
Waiting to
sort of
dance.
glum because there's not enough men. So they
That
try and
is
circle the men.
sad.
So when you get there, you're seen as you've got high
Heroic.
currency. Yeah.
We have to launch an appeal now.
No, we just have to go there. Us
Okay.
three.
Yeah, that's just us three go.
It's not, it's not whales getting killed, Trev.
No, but he's very
We
sad.
have to launch a campaign. Let's women stack round.
Get this peg off my neck.
If it weren't for this peg on my neck, I'd be down there tangoing those girls to heaven.
But,
Trevor, the last thing those glum women need is you turning up. I'm sure they'd rather be wallflowers than have you interfere with their petticoats.
I think I might take to that tango.
I bet
like
you know how to tango, don't you?
Of course he knows how to
I
tango.
started, right, and he sort of... It's difficult, but really it's just going right, left. But the man
That's
leads.
marching,
At
isn't
first I felt uncomfortable. He goes, because Octavia, who ran it, he says, you hold her like this, you push her boobs against your chest, and you
Nice.
steer from here, and you do this, and you're the man, you're in charge, you take the lady, and that's what I was thinking, God, this is a bit... So I was a bit apologetic about it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
Sorry, is that squashing your boob?
Oh, I
Like
do
that.
apologise for your boob.
But in the end, what it is like, the women go there
Yeah.
to be swept off their feet by a man who can tango dance.
Literally.
And because I couldn't, they get annoyed with you, and you feel it's exactly the same feeling as being 15 when a woman goes, no, not like that, oh, just stop it.
Right, fumbling, awkward sex.
Fumbling, yeah, exactly.
Brilliant.
It's like that. So you're-
Brilliant. That's what Trevor. That's the only kind of sex. That's what sex is to Trevor. That fumbling, awkward sex you have when you're 15. Trevor's never gone beyond that. Trevor's never gone, oh, if you press that button, this will happen. All that noise when they throw their head back. Trevor is just an awkward coughing in the back of a Capri while some poor woman tries to pull her tights back up.
and
Oh,
then
let
phone
him,
in the taxi.
let him think that. Let him believe it.
I don't
do
believe
believe
that,
it.
Trev. Anyway, yeah. So you're back. You're completely emasculated again, and it's really weird. And you've got no currency. There's men there who you think normally in a normal situation you think that no one would fancy him.
Right, but they're good at
because-
tangoing.
Good at tangoing. So you've got nothing.
I'd hate that.
And also, normally I fall back on joking and like sort of.
They don't care about jokes.
They don't care. They don't want to hear it.
All they want is tango.
No,
Exactly.
They want to be danced.
They've gone there for
properly.
one-
But hold on, isn't tango just one step away from having sex? Isn't tango a
it's
rehearsal for
absolutely-
sex?
it's Really,
No.
when
Well,
you're
what's its
doing
value?
it,
I mean, what is dance? It's ritualistic mating behaviour. That's why we dance, isn't it?
please,
Of course
we
it
have
is.
to reduce
It's not
everything.
reducing it. It's
that is
identifying what it is.
it's
You're
not.
simplifying it far too
Well, what
much.
is it then? What's its
Okay,
value?
wait.
Let him
It's
finish.
two people, right, without speaking to each other, communicating, and then
What's
when
sex?
Shut up.
Two people without language communicating. That's what
No.
sex is. Sex. You can't
What
tell
are
me
you
that
saying
dance
with
is
your
more
little
primal.
one?
I'm saying, come on, baby, let's
Wait,
go.
wait,
Let me
Russell.
take you to paradise. Uh-huh.
I'm glad you're being passionate, but Octavia would tell you to use your feet, not your mouth.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what I'd say to Octavia? I'd say, why don't you just dance yourself back out of our country, mate? We're coming over here. The English language is more...
He's a big fan of yours, he likes you.
I like him, he's lovely. I'm only joking. But what I'm saying is that dance is...
Is this... Yeah, it's
but dance
foreplay.
is a rehearsal for sex.
I don't think
It is
so.
a watered-down, diluted version.
No. Go to the... All right, let's go. All of us go.
No, but let's resolve it as a conversation
Let's
first.
resolve it as a conversation, and then let's resolve it with our little twinkle toes.
Yeah, because Russell can't dance, as we all know.
I'll tell you what, he can dance. This fella can dance. He's just too self-conscious.
I like to have it off instead of dancing.
Yeah, but no, that's the whole thing. That's the next step. But this is nice and it's good. And when you're into it, and once you learn, it doesn't take that long to get.
Does it not?
Then you feel, yeah, no. By the end of it, I could do the basic steps. I could dance, and then
What about these blokes who were really good at it? What were they like?
they were nice. Everyone was really nice there. But they separated us up into. What was weird was they sort of said, this woman who I had to dance with from Poland, right?
Yeah.
She's booked a holiday to Argentina in the summer, and she needs to learn quickly. So she'd come to this lesson and been
Excuse me, finish that sentence. Matthew, we sent you there to do a cultural review. That's like breaking the law on the dance floor, mate.
Listen, she'd been bumbled off with me. I don't know if that's the right word.
Probably not the best verb to employ, being bumbled off by Matt Morgan.
Okay,
Crikey.
so I had to dance with her, and she was getting
Her holiday in
bored.
Argentina.
And then, you know, like if her weight's on the right foot, you can't go forward on that foot.
Yeah.
Well, you can because you're aware of it, but. The woman sort of goes, oh, no, I can't do that. And she just started getting annoyed at me. And Octavia came over, oh, she likes you, hold her close, put your leg between her legs sometimes.
Yeah.
The ladies like that. And I
See,
knew
the reason
this
I'm saying,
woman hated me.
but don't you think she hated it? Because for me, that all sounds like a sort of a parody and a watered down,
Yeah, but
diluted
that's-
version of sex.
Yeah, but that's because you'd go there and go, oh, this is all ridiculous. Let's all just have sex. create a massive scene.
What was the point of this? Get your pants off.
Octavia would go, oh, please, okay, everyone just, okay, free time, everyone, and then have to take you outside, and you go, well, Octavia, it's just foreplay, isn't it? Why can't we all just have sex? And then you'd have to go home on a bus crying, and then everyone else would be dancing around all nicely, like this.
That doesn't sound like so
foreplay. Have you
awkward,
ever heard of
embarrassing.
foreplay?
Of course I have, I'm good at it.
Oh, right, okay.
Look at him. You've got the wrong energy. I bet you're a selfish lover.
That bloody peg on my nipple, get away from me.
See, look how he changed the subject. Did you see that?
I'm not a selfish lover. I'm
can't
really
even do a
generous.
foreplay on
Listen,
himself.
I can't even break wind in front of a woman until I've made her come. So there's no way I'm anything
say
other
that
than
on the
generous.
Made her.
What? I bet it happens straight away.
I bet there's a
Before her head
ticking
touches the
clock. I
pillow.
bet there's a stopwatch.
Right, come on. No, that's ridiculous. Listen,
Russell.
yes, but we've got the ladies here, haven't we?
Oh,
Zoe
don't
and Miranda.
suggest that.
Can I review tango? Can you dance tango?
Waltz.
Waltz? No, I don't know that. It's my repertoire.
Give it a go.
I can
Really?
waltz. Yeah.
Of course he can
That's
waltz.
one of the
Waltzes through life. Look at him with that ridiculous thing around his bloody
Do
neck.
you want to try?
Okay.
I was just going to do
Oh, yeah,
dancing.
great radio.
Well,
What are
it
you
is
doing,
great
waltzing
radio.
or
We can
tango
describe
in?
it.
Tango in.
Oh, God, this is a
Have you,
farce.
have you ever seen...
This is pointless. Why don't we all just have sex? We're going to dance. It's ridiculous. We're going to do radio based around physical activity.
Have you ever seen proper tango?
Yeah,
It's
just people
incredible.
dancing
It's
around.
not just people. It's incredible.
Oh, it's
Nothing
ridiculous.
like this.
Listen, let's go to a track. So, Zoe, are you having a nice time here?
It's getting better.
Why are you
So-
holding your nose?
What for? Has Trevor popped off? Has Trevor done one of his world famous Trevor Lock pop-offs?
You're closer to me than he is.
Yeah, but I'm an innocent man. So if you enjoyed this experience, you've essentially become unpaid PAs. Miranda's out there trying to organise my taxi. You've been
yeah.
sent to get food.
Well,
Has it been pleasant? Will you be entering
I can't
competitions
lie,
again?
can I?
No,
You
tell the
saying you haven't
truth.
enjoyed
I
yourself?
have enjoyed myself.
What about
You
the
have
bit
enjoyed
where
it?
I
Yeah.
tried to dance with you and nearly
That was the
broke
that was
your
a
foot?
highlight.
That was horrible. Matt's stomping around on Zoe's
Well, it's
feet.
proof that dancing isn't foreplay because
Certainly isn't. I
was
don't think
dreadful.
Zoe will ever have sex with a man again. If she wasn't a lesbian already, were you? Are you one now? See, what have you done? You're like a lesbian recruitment tool. Okay, that's in my own mouth. So listen, what are we going to do now? What's the matter? What's the problem?
nothing.
What is it with you
Nothing.
guys? I just
Nothing.
worry about just how be belligerent about things. Trevor's wading his way
Trevor,
through his
get your
cakes and
cake off
snacks.
my buttons. Oh, this is my domain. I press the buttons. You sitting there with
In charge
carrot
of
cake.
Sometimes you
Compositions.
forget to press the buttons, though, and it helps you out, don't I?
No, we've given Trevor a couple of buttons that don't do anything. They're Fisher Price. Sometimes I go, Trev, press that.
Miranda's
done it.
back.
Press that button, Trev.
Miranda.
This is called Westland House, and we're on. Do you know where we are?
This is
Gildeer
just the
Street.
most professional radio thing
It's an absolute
I've
farce,
ever
isn't it?
heard of.
You're listening to Russell Brand on Six Music. I'm here with Matt Morgan and Trevor Locke and Zoe and Miranda, who have essentially become
Not Miranda.
skivvies. Miranda's out on the street trying to get a taxi
This
now.
is ridiculous.
Why? Because I've got to go and do stand-up comedy. Because remember, in our world, this is Saturday evening. I'm off to do stand-up comedy.
Me and
Miranda's
Russell
out on the
have to go
street.
to Germany, so this has all been a bit of a surprise.
What's it going to be? Yeah, because it's a surprise thing. We're off to meet Keith Richards,
I have to
review
go
the
to
Rolling
Bugbrook.
Stones. We've got to go to Bugbrook.
I've got to go to Bugbrook.
Not a moment too soon, Trevor. I can't wait to get you back there. You should never have been allowed to leave that place. Then none of this would have happened.
Is it like the Shire?
It is. It's in the Shire. Yeah, it's in Northamptonshire.
I'm talking about Middle Earth, mate.
Listen,
know,
I want to know what we're going to do when we meet Keith Richards. How are we going to behave?
Keith Richard, you better not call him that.
Cliff Richard. You think you're going to interview Cliff Richard?
The first thing I'm going to say is, were you fed up when the shadow split? you must have been really browned off. I bet first of all you're cheesed off,
Are you
then
going to
brassed off
say?
and browned
Are you going to? Because you obviously dress a little bit like him. It's been mentioned in the press. Are you going to go? All right, Keith. And if he goes, hey, your threads look like mine.
I'll go, oh, thank you very much. My favourite thing was when you sang at Wimbledon. You really brightened the mood after all that rain. Very kind of you to have done that. You're a gent, so as you are, and a real tough and no mistake. Gives a cuddle, why don't you? But I just think that, how are we going to behave? What are we going to do?
Well, I'm not allowed to go near him, apparently.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's said, doesn't he? In
the
his
first
contract.
stipulation was.
The first stipulation is that
Don't let Matt Morgan.
I'm
near
from
him.
Dartford, which is where Mick Jagger and Keith Richards were mainly. Mick Jagger went to my school.
Yeah.
I'm from there. I should be able to meet
Isn't
them.
the library named after Mick Jagger at your
No,
old
there's
school?
a Mick Jagger Media Centre or
I
something.
wouldn't want to say where's the Mick Jagger Media Centre.
Well,
I'll just call
for
it the
years
Media
they
Centre.
were ashamed that he used to go to the school because of his drugs and stuff like that. And then suddenly I think he must have offered them some money or something.
Probably because he became one of the most successful people in
times
the
have
world.
changed,
No, he
haven't
wasn't.
they?
No, it's good that he's.
No, I
came
mean
in.
like in the 80s and 90s they
Still in the 80s
kept
and
it
90s. Really?
Yeah.
Odd way
Who went
to
to your
behave.
school that was famous?
Ruth Carraway, who played one of the girls in Grange Hill.
Right. Who won that then?
I didn't realise. After that though, hold on, I went to.
Oh, there's you now, isn't there?
I went
You're
to,
more
yeah.
famous
You're
than
the
Ruth
famous
Carraway.
person.
Yes, I've defeated Ruth Carraway in
Does
a
your
fame
school, when there's an
contest.
opening day, do you think there's a picture of you and go, oh yes, and of course cable television's Russell Brand used to go to this.
Cable TV icon Russell Brand came in. Digital media star Russell Brand used to go to this school. What do you mean, digital media? Well, if you're prepared to buy some soon-to-be defunct technology, you'll be able to see this nincompoop strutting around in borrowed robes. Zoe, have you enjoyed your experience here?
Yep. It's getting better and better.
What has been your favourite aspect?
The dance.
The dance with
Yeah,
Matt where he
Matt.
clumps all
Sorry, I
over you.
was so bad.
Awful.
Well, there
You
was
also-
promise there.
You bumped into
There was
Dermot
promise.
O'Leary in the lift as well.
Miranda found that particularly thrilling.
So the highlight really was when they left our company and
Yeah.
went into the lift. That's
No,
when
and the
things
No, no,
got
no, and the
Mate,
dance, the
dance.
dance.
Don't gloss over that dance.
The
That
dance,
was
just
a
because you
magic
don't understand
moment.
dance, you've
Don't
reduced it.
point at me like you're a shock jock.
You don't understand
You're like,
dance.
Pointing at me like James Whale, sat in your headphones.
I'm a shock
I
jock.
put it to you.
I am a shock jock.
Oh, you've shocked me.
Balls.
You really have. Oh, crikey, you've gone too far. There was the line. What a show it's been. So you've had Trevor. So Sonic, what was the answer to your Sonic Enigma, Trev?
It was the Kinks set me free. It should have been the Animals.
Should have been
We
the
got
Animals.
out.
We've got to get out of this place.
My answer was better than your whole
Records
week
will show.
of thinking.
Records will show that I actually said that before you, Matt.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Actually, I didn't say the Animals. Though. I went. We've got to get out of this place. I did say it.
I
did
thought you were just saying
Yeah, but
that.
if you didn't know it was by the Animals, is that by the Animals?
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I don't even know if it is.
We gotta get out of this.
Trevor,
Oh,
you have
Trevor,
caused enough
please,
trouble.
crikey.
I think
it
it
was bad
becomes
enough when
clear
you creaked your chair.
how much effect the Sonic Enigma jingles go through, because that is when he sings a cappella, unaccompanied, without a moment's notice. That is the claptrap that comes out of him.
You sound like a man with pegs on his neck.
Well,
Yeah,
I have
peg neck.
I've had pegs on my neck, on my nipples.
You've got
on
off
my
lightly
forehead.
this week, mate.
You
I
have?
haven't. I had a trauma. Look at that hand.
We're going to
Look at
get something in Germany.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
we're in Germany, we're going to get something over
Yeah,
there.
and I hope
we're
it's
going to bring it
incurable.
back. No, you idiot.
What?
I hope not. We're going to get something, bring it back, and that's going to be something cruel we do to you.
Next week we'll be live again. Next week will be a fantastic, magical show. I've got a good feeling about next week. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Hope you entered the Sonic Enigma, because we've got to find competition winners to come in next week. I need my U-bend emptied out in my lavvy.
I must
Yes,
say
Matt?
that I went dancing at Bar Andalusia.
Oh, you're probably- oh, and we had, and we went
Whitfield
to.
Street.
And where did we go for our flotation hell?
No works.
Float tank.
No. Float tank? You just made that up.
Float tank.
It was
The
called
floating-
Hydro Works.
Was it?
In
no, for the
London Bridge.
floating. That's called Hydro Works, was
Yeah.
it? Nah, it's called something like float away. Float works. That's what I said.
What did you do, go? Float tank.
float tank, everything's a float tank. I liked it down that float tank. Trevor got terrified.
There's a brilliant thing going on August the 11th.
What
in
are you
Camden.
plugging?
Let me say
Oh,
this.
go on then, you jerk.
It's your tango event,
It's a month
isn't it?
away.
If you've never tangoed
No, it's nice. About 3 weeks, and also I've never put on a night. It's a rock and roll
Matt
night.
is putting on a
real
night.
Rock
A
and roll.
real
Rock and roll
night.
tango.
This is the beginning
It's a
of
new
Friday
place.
nights being the night again in Camden. Listen to my voice.
It's going to be rubbish.
August the 11th at Bar Monster, which used to be the G Lounge near the Tube in Camden. I'm putting on a night. It's going to be brilliant.
I
Celebrities
think
will
it
be
will
there.
be an absolute
Trevor
farce of an evening.
No, it's going to be rock and roll. It's going to be good.
Do you think so, Matt?
Probably
Do you really
not.
think so? Let's try and get some good DJs there. It'll be a laugh. Okay, then. So like next week, we'll start a competition to win tickets to come to your
But
your
no, I need to
special
fill
night.
the place. Otherwise, I have to pay for it. So
Yeah, not too many winners.
No, okay, well, I don't know, we'll try and work something out. Right, well, thank you very much, Zoe, you've been fantastic, and Miranda's out in the street getting us a cab even now, still toiling. What a useless competition prize. Trevor, you've been lovely. Do you feel okay after all the pegs and everything?
Yeah, I feel much better, thanks. I've got some food inside me now. I'm
Good.
looking forward to the night ahead.
It's gonna be a great night.
Guardia now.
Yeah, it's called something else, but it's the same people as that
Same people,
Argentinian
whatever,
thing.
yeah,
I'm
I
off
know
to do
it's someone
stand-up
else got to
comedy.
do.
Matt, what are you going to do? You coming with me?
we're going. Oh, probably.
Come on,
Suppose.
oh, probably, oh, Matt. You
We've
like
got to go
hanging
to
out
that
with me, we're
party
good
later.
friends.
And
Yeah.
we've got to get up early to go to Germany.
We're going to Germany. Hope you've enjoyed our Sunday show. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Download
Listen
the
to Andrew
podcast.
Collins later. Enjoy Music
We'll
Week.
be
coming
live
up now.
again next week.
Stay with 6 Music. We'll be live again. We're live and we're enjoying ourselves. Thank you. We love you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Ep.16 Music.